ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now traveling to all 50 states in 50 weeks in search of America.
Thursday, the amazing behind-the-scenes story you haven't heard about Tyra Harris, who ran over and killed her cheating husband with her Mercedes. Don't miss this.
Now that you've said I will, prepare to say I do at our 2003 Bridal Extravaganza. Let us help you choose the perfect gown, florist, and photographer for your special day. Plus, register to win an all-inclusive honeymoon to the Almond Resorts in Barbados. Join us Sunday, March 9th at the Marriott's Hunt Valley Inn from 11 until 3. The 2003 Bridal Extravaganza is brought to you by 100.7 The Bay, the Marriott's Hunt Valley Inn, the perfect wedding guide, Natalie's Travel, and ABC2.
If you're injured in an accident caused by someone else's negligence, it can be devastating. That's why you need the concerned representation of Science Kirk and Miles at 1-800-LAWYERS.
Let's talk about it, because if you have a phone, you have a lawyer.
Every year, due to medical malpractice, thousands of babies suffer birth injuries resulting in cerebral palsy, or CP. For a free legal consultation to protect your child, call Science Kirk and Miles at 1-800-CP-ADVICE.
For dependable winter weather forecasts, turn to ABC2 News.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Sam Davis, sports editor with the Sun. With me as always, Keith Mills, sports anchor here at WMAR TV2. Keith, welcome to another edition of Replay.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you. We got highlights. We had a lot more snow, but we still got highlights this week, right?
A lot of great games played. We got most of them. Coming up, we'll meet this week's Sun Athletes of the Week, Monica Bunts of the Annapolis Area Christian School and Mark Frey of Archbishop Curley. And it was championship week around the area. We have state track and field highlights and highlights of 4 different championship games played this week.
All right, but our special guest today is Jerome Shelton, coach of St. Francis and the area's #1 ranked girls team. But we will start today's Toyota highlights with the Baltimore City Boys Basketball Championship. The game was played on Tuesday night and featured the defending champion Douglas Ducks against Lake Clifton.
Yeah, this game was played at Morgan State. Crowd of 2,000 on hand, including former Lake Clifton standout Kevin Norris. Rodney Cofield's Ducks' big first half lead, but Lake cuts it down. Number 10, Paris Carter from Paris, I think, Sam.
Big game for Paris Carter, hitting that three-pointer there. He led the way for Lake Clifton with 20 points.
Herman Harry's Lakers down 25-22 at the half. Third quarter, Douglas. Trey Love the steal to number 31, Jermaine Bolden.
All right, nice combination there on Trey Love and Jermaine Bolden. Jermaine Bolden had 18 points. Trey Love added 10 points for the Ducks.
Douglas by 8. Lake cuts it down. Douglas goes up. Bolden to Brian Taylor. Nails the 3. Douglas leads 42-33 with 7 minutes left in the game. But Tavon Nelson leads the comeback. Back-to-back putbacks, 44-41 at this point.
Good work inside by Tavon Nelson for Lake Clifton. In addition to 17 points, he had 10 rebounds.
Wild final 2 minutes. Lake number 11, Deshaun Gray to steal to Donde Ridley. It's 48-47 Lake with 21 seconds late. Rodney Cofield's Ducks not through. You see the coach diagram in the play? Here's what he comes up with. Number 33, Daryl Clark's end-to-end drive. It's 49-48 Douglas.
A lot of big plays down the stretch for Douglas. Daryl Clark there. Devon Morris also had a big play, and Charles Brooks made some big plays down the stretch.
Herman Hareed's turn for strategy, and this is what they come up with. Derek Haynes to Tavon Nelson to Deshaun Gray with a great feed inside. That is the game winner. Nelson would hit 2 free throws, and the celebration begins. 52-49. Lake Clifton wins the city championship.
All right, and Lake Clifton improves to 17-4. Douglas drops to 19-2. Only losses to Dunbar and Lake Clifton so far this season. Now, the Baltimore County Boys Championship was also played on Tuesday night as top-ranked Randallstown played number 19 Woodlawn. The 2 longtime rivals had played early in the year with Randallstown, winning by 6 points.
This game was played at Woodlawn High School in front of another big crowd. Kim Rivers' Randallstown Rams, always so tough. Just 1 loss on the year. Eddie Green's Warriors had won 12 straight coming in. Unbelievable pace to start this game. Levi Stooks on fire. Not 1, but 2 jumpers early on.
Senior guard Levi Stooks, All-Metro first-team selection last season, probably the area's best player, 26 points.
Boy, that's saying a lot, too. Still Woodlawn led after 1. Lance Fuller, the transfer from Gibbons, the basket and foul.
Big basket there for Lance Fuller. He led the way for Woodlawn with 14 points.
Second quarter, Randallstown scored 9 straight out of the gate. Jamel Raymond with the putback.
Jarrell Raymond, nice job there. Jamel Raymond of Randallstown scored the first 6 points of the second quarter and finished with a total of 9.
Randallstown led by 13 at the half. Second half, they get their fast break in gear. Terrence Bro to Dominic Venable. The lead is 18. Kim Rivers is, yeah, did that count? Woodlawn makes one more run. Thomas Hickson hits the short jumper.
Thomas Hickson scored 12 points for the Warriors.
But the Rams close it out in style. Levi Stooks to Thomas Bro.
Thomas Bro's 14 points, and Torian Dean also for Randallstown had 7 points and 7 rebounds.
And the Rams will celebrate a 77-55 win, their 3rd straight Baltimore County championship.
Only 1 loss on the season for Randallstown, 19 wins. Woodlawn at 13-6. Boys basketball poll, obviously the weather affected this week. Just 4 of the top 5 teams managed to get in 1 game. You saw highlights of #1 Randallstown beating Woodlawn, and the Baltimore County championship. Annapolis also won a game, but Mount St. Joe and Douglas each lost a game. All right, it was a busy week also for the area's girls basketball teams as well. Tuesday night, number 16 Western played number 14 Dunbar for the city championship. Earlier this season, Dunbar beat Western by 43 points.
But not on this night. The game played at Morgan. Hey, this guy got his money's worth, let me tell you. So did Wardell Selby's Dunbar girls, the defending city champs. His former assistant, Donchez Graham, now coaches at Western. And Western in white out of the gate quick, number 12, Janelle Hughes. What a player she is.
Janelle Hughes averages 26 points for the Doves. She had 20 in this game.
Dunbar down 12 early. Number 54, Sierra Jones. Western by 1. This would be Jones's only basket. 4th quarter, what a quarter. Shalane Price keeps Dunbar in it with a 1-3 after another.
Shalane Price, very nice job here on this 3. She had 20 points for Dunbar, as you said, to keep them in this game.
But Western with a secret weapon of its own. Number 41, Beth Sloat, to number 11, freshman Ebony Dennis. She hits that shot, and check out the smile. But at the other end, Shalane Price spots up, hits another 3. Western leads 51-50 with 4.5 minutes left. 1 minute left. Western clinches it to Wardell Selby's chagrin. Beth Sloat with a clutch shot here from 3-point land.
Big shot by Beth Sloat. She only scored 5 points, but all 5 in the last 3 minutes of this game.
Western wins 59-55 to avenge that earlier loss to the Dunbar Post.
And the Doves improved to 19-4. Dunbar finishes at 16-4. The girls' Baltimore County Championship was played on Thursday night. Unbeaten and 3rd-ranked Woodlawn played Milford Mill, winner of 5 of the last 6 county championships.
Yeah, this game was also played at Woodlawn, and a picture tells all, huh? That's how these fans were celebrating. Pam Wright's Milford Mill Club gearing up for another run at the state championship. Dwayne Burrows' Woodlawn Club, a perfect 19-0 coming in, but it was Milford in green up early. Kiana Cheatham with the putback.
Kiana Cheatham, Milford Mill, she scored 21 points for the Millers.
Woodlawn, though, would lead at the half. Number 22, Brittany Taylor on the fast break for the Warriors.
Nice balanced effort for Woodlawn. Brittany Taylor had 14. Tierra Wilde had 12 points.
Yeah, and here's a big play from Wilde on the miss. Taylor gets it back. Nice feed inside to Tierra Wilde.
Good look.
Yeah, beautiful feed. Woodlawn up 22-17 at that. Unbelievable 3rd quarter shooting by both teams. First, Candace Jeter for Milford. It's 27-22 Woodlawn. At the other end, watch Brittany Taylor to number 23, Rhonda Shelley. The lead is back to 7. Milford cuts it down to 4. Guess who? Kiana Cheatham on the 3. Spots up, hits the rainbow 3. And the lead is 4. But Rhonda Shelley answers for Woodlawn at the other end. She had 14. It's 36-30 Woodlawn. And then Sam, one of the smallest players on the court, Shauna Scott, heaves up a 3. And then on the next possession, she gets a big steal and layup here.
All right, Shauna Scott, good job there. She finished with 9 points for Milford Mill. Man, with that shot from deep range.
35-34 Woodlawn at this point. So Dwayne Burrows and Pam Wright assembled the troops for the stretch run. A stretch run Woodlawn would control. Another big play by Brittany Taylor. Brittany Taylor, nice spin move inside for the layup there for Woodlawn. She had 14 points and also had 8 steals. Then freshman Kim Carr with the putback, and this puts it away for Woodlawn. Nice job on the boards by Kim Carr. Watch her get this, puts it in. She had 9 rebounds along with 5 points. Woodlawn wins 58-51. The championship plaque tells the story. first Baltimore County championship in 12 years for the Warriors.
Woodlawn improves to 20-0, the only unbeaten team in the area, boys or girls basketball. Milford Mill drops to 18-3.
State semifinals of the Independent Schools Tournament held Saturday. Scott Buckley's Roland Park team gave IND all it could handle on IND's home court. Roland Park in the red. Molly Few tips it to number 40, Brianna Hall, to number 12, Danny Kell.
Nice move by Danny Kell in the layup there. She had 17 points for Roland Park.
Yeah, the Reds up 3 in the third quarter, but IND features one of the premier players around, number 44, Cheandra Jones. Did a little bit of everything yesterday.
Good work inside by Cheandra Jones. She had 22 points to lead IND.
Herb Holter's club back up 22-21. The last quarter and a half was tremendous. Barbara Seaman, the freshman, her dad Tony is the Towson lacrosse coach. 30-28, Roland Park with the lead after that basket, but Cheandra Jones does it again. The steal, look at this, to Caroline Wesley for a huge play by IND.
Caroline Wesley going in for the layup there. She had 5 points. Also, Katie Holtler added 8 points for IND.
IND up 2 after 3. Fourth quarter, back and forth. Shannon Burke to Brianna Hall.
Brianna Hall, she had 7 points, 6 straight points in the fourth quarter.
Well, IND answers. Guess who? Cheandra Jones. It's 37-35 IND. Shannon Burke coming right at you, number 21. Ties it at 40 with 3 minutes left. But then with 30 seconds left, IND by 2, Colby Jones nails it shut.
And that was the clincher. Roland Park, prior to that basket, had 3 straight possessions and missed 6 straight free throws. Now, when Roland Park beat IND earlier in the season, they made 16 of 16 free throws in that game, so you don't have to look far to figure out why they lost that. When IND improves to 21-6, advances to the championship game, Roland Park now 18-8. Quick look at the girls' basketball top 5. Top-ranked St. Francis, number 5 IND. Each won 2 games to advance to today's IAAM championship at Villa Julie. Woodlawn beat Milford Mill in the Baltimore County Championship. Anne Arundel beat Annapolis. Number 2 River Hill lost to Glen Elk by 11, but bounced back to edge Mount Hebron 35-32. And look, a quick look at the wrestling poll. Not a lot of action this week. Number 1 St. Joe boys, Latin and McDonough. Their seasons are over, but to see Owings Mills beat Bell to win the state 2A 1A title, and River Hill beat La Plata to win the 4A 3A dual meet title. See all the polls Tuesday in the Sun. All right, the state indoor track and field championships were also held this week, and Baltimore area teams more than held their own. Milford Mills girls team won the Class 3A 2A title, while Annapolis and Lock Ravens boys and the Glen Elks girls placed second in the team championships.
Yeah, both meets were held at the Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex in Landover. Huge crowd on hand, and they watched Milford Mills, Navia Brown win both the 300 and 500 meter run.
Big day for Navia Brown. She won the 500 in 1 minute 17.1 seconds. Also won the 300 in 39.7 seconds, a state record.
She accounted for 38 of Milford's 45 points. There she is right there. Dominique Washington of Milford finished 3rd in the 55 hurdles. Navia Brown finished the season unbeaten in the 300 and 500 meters. In the girls' 55 meters, big effort from Jeanette Curtis of Mount Hebron.
Jeanette Curtis, Mount Hebron. She wins the 55 hurdles in 7.9 seconds and helps Hebron take 6th in the team championship.
Boy, what an effort for Jeanette Curtis. You see her right here, the young lady from Mount Hebron. Annapolis's boys finished 2nd in Class 3A 2A. Demario Harris finished 4th in the 55 meter hurdles, coming right at you right here. But a big effort from Will Eden from Annapolis.
Will Eder of Annapolis. He won the 3,200 meters and placed 2nd in the 1,600 to get some big points for Annapolis. Mount Hebron boys also did well. They placed 4th in the 3A 2A meet.
The state 2A 1A meet also held at the PG Learning Center and again featured some of the area's premier athletes. Oakland Mills boys unable to win their 5th straight state championship, though Tony Cole won the 55 meter hurdles and Lock Ravens boys finished 2nd. This is the girls 500 meters. Glen Elk girls finished 2nd. Kathy Mann at Poolesville win, but this is Kathy Penzick right here.
That's right, Kathy Penzick of Glen Elk. She placed 5th in the 500 to help the Gladiators team finish 2nd overall.
Athelton's Lindsay Gregoriev won the 55 meter hurdles and the shot put. Edmonton sophomore Sierra Lane won the 55 meter dash, Edmonton's first state champion. And then the Glen Elk boys featured a state champion. Just saw him. Drew Gravebeal won the 500 meters, running down Southern's Andrew Peresta in the final 100 meters in a winning time of 1:06.3, a new state record. Some fantastic highlights this week. Congratulations to all the winners and the teams that came close.
Yeah, good job by the area track teams.
Absolutely.
All right, coming up next, we're going to meet the Sun's Athletes of the Week.
Yeah, there's much more to come on the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. Stay right with us.
Brought to you by your Toyota dealer, where 17 different models mean more choice and better value. Get the feeling, Toyota.
It's time to go. Go see your Toyota dealer for the biggest savings ever on all new Corollas and the completely new Matrix. Come in now for 3.9% APR financing up to 5 years on your new Corolla. It's bigger, more powerful, with more standard features. Come save on any new Matrix, a totally new kind of car. Part sports sedan, part SUV, and selling now with 3.9% APR financing up to 5 years. It's time to go. Go for a great deal at your Toyota dealer.
He's just terrific, and he's brought kind of a reptilian sense of balance to business that I think was missing from our warm-blooded employees before.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sometimes when we touch,
Why do people love Geico?
the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes.
Because 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
If you live in Harford County, you already know what a marvelous place it is to call home. Now you'll be able to enjoy your Harford County lifestyle even more, thanks to the new Harford section in the Baltimore Sun. That's where you'll find everything you love about Hartford living. You'll find in-depth local news reporting. You'll find terrific photos and interesting feature stories. And you'll also find outstanding local high school sports coverage. So look for the new Harford section every week in the Sunday Sun. Available at a newsstand near you.
There's a hospital in Maryland where in 1920, doctors first showed the world surgery could be performed on the heart. A hospital whose pioneering excellence continues today, with doctors developing advanced videoscopic procedures to reduce pain and recovery time. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Welcome back to Replay Sun High School Sports. Every week the Sun picks its athletes of the week, and each week it's our pleasure to introduce them to you. From the mats to the courts, this week's athletes of the week have proven that they have what it takes to win championships. Our boys athlete of the week is Curley wrestler Mark Frey. Even though Mark is not able to join us this morning, his career performance on the mat tells the story. Mark has not lost to a Maryland wrestler in 2.5 seasons and was the only wrestler from the Baltimore area to win a national title. This tough grappler not only leads his team as a captain, but also leads in the Maryland State Wrestling Association with a #1 ranking in his weight class. Just recently at 130 pounds, Mark defeated USA Today's 4th-ranked Blair Academy wrestler Adam Frey to capture the title match in the finals of the National Prep Tournament at Lehigh University. With his incredible efforts at the Nationals, Mark went on to a 40-4 record this season and 128-20 for his career. So it's no surprise that Mark is a three-time champion in both the Maryland Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Maryland Independent Schools Tournament. From this week's champions on the mats, we move to a winner on the court, Monica Bunts. In the girls basketball Maryland Christian Athletic League Championship, Monica, a 6-foot center, led the Annapolis area Christian Eagles to victories in both games of the tournament. She totaled 38 points and grabbed 25 rebounds, including 22 points and 16 rebounds in the title game, a 60-40 win over Greater Grace. In only her first complete season as a varsity team member, Monica has averaged 11.6 points and 6.9 rebounds to help the Eagles maintain a 10-0 record against league opponents and 17-3 overall record. Congratulations, Monica, and welcome to Replay Sun High School Sports.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good. Congratulations on the championship also. Let's talk about the championship a little bit, particularly that game against Greater Grace where you came up big with 22 points and 16 rebounds. And you were saying that the size of that team affected you, helped you actually in that game. Talk to us a little bit about the game and tell us what happened.
Well, we had an advantage in our height because of our post players being around 6 foot, both me and Kristen Benner, and they weren't as tall as us, so we had that height advantage. And Paige Cheek being our 5'9" point guard and also our shooting guard, she also had the height advantage up around the perimeter. So we had that little bit of that.
So the height advantage came in handy for you guys.
Yeah, it did.
Let's talk about the Annapolis area Christian team this season. You guys finished the season at 17-3. You won the championship this season. Last season you lost the championship game to Chin. You've had a nice last couple of seasons, but tell us what's the difference between this year's team and last year's team in terms of how you guys were able to get over the hump and win the championship?
Well, I think this year our starters clicked more than maybe last year's team, and well, with Paige, Cheek, and Katie and Sharon Nichols working together on the perimeter, and then me and Kristen Benner working down in the post, we just all blended very well, and we were able to work out our plays very easily. Okay. So.
Now, you're a three-sport athlete at Annapolis area Christian. You also play volleyball. Volleyball team lost in the championship game this year, and you also play lacrosse, and the lacrosse team won the championship last spring. Which is your best sport? Basketball, volleyball, lacrosse?
Basketball and volleyball are pretty even. Volleyball, well, it kind of still is my number one, but basketball is one of my favorite things to do. So.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Well, Monica, we look forward to catching up with you this spring playing lacrosse also. Monica, thank you very much for coming here on Replay.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, coaches, don't forget, if you want to nominate an Athlete of the Week, be sure to check out Wednesday's sports section to find out how. Now, stay tuned for more of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. But first, here's this week's Sunspot question. Which county or city wrestling champion will fare best at the state tournament? Old Mill of Anne Arundel County, Owings Mills of Baltimore County, Poly of Baltimore City, River Hill of Howard County, South Carroll of Carroll County. You can place your vote at www.sunspot.net/sports/high school. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's time to go. Go see your Toyota dealer for great values like the all-new 4Runner. Bigger, more powerful. Go for an award-winning Highlander or come in for big savings on 7-passenger Siennas. Now you can choose 3.9% APR financing up to 5 years or $1,500 cash back from Toyota. Save up to $2,000 more with an options package. Come in for a RAV4 and save $1,000 with an options package. It's time to go. Go for a great deal at your Toyota dealer.
If you're planning to purchase a new car, boat, RV, or if you want to make home improvements, Baltimore County Savings Bank can help you make it happen. With a variety of financing plans, we are sure you will find one suited to meet your needs. And as always, we fully explain the loan transaction, so you will know you made the right decision. You'll get more from your bank when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank, locally owned and operated and growing to meet your needs.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Visit sunspot.net and find out. Sunspot, the answer to life in Maryland.
People from all over America come to a hospital in Maryland to leave dialysis behind. A hospital where caring surgeons and nurses have led the world's most successful live donor kidney transplant program to a remarkable success rate. A hospital where videoscopic surgery allows loved ones and friends to donate easily and walk out in just a day or two. Who's leading the way to this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
The Loyola Dons wrapped up their 9th straight Maryland Interscholastic Athletic Association title last Monday. Sophomore Nick Taylor won 4 gold medals, and the Dons relay teams won 4 events. All right, joining us this week for our Sun interview is St. Francis coach Jerome Shelton, coach of the #1 ranked, St. Francis Panthers. Jerome Shelton, welcome to Replay Sun High School Sports, Jerome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Jerome, we brought you in. Later today, your team is going to take on IND at Villa Julie in the IAAMA Conference Championship game, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit about this St. Francis team that you have this season. I want to talk to you a little bit about how you built this program at St. Francis. You've been at the school since 1985, coaching girls basketball since, I think, 1990.
Yes. Well, a lot of hard work, support from our administration, a lot of passion with the people who have worked with me, and it's a lot of dedication to the sport. We've had some tremendous people come through and make a commitment to want to start at ground level and help us achieve the things we have today.
and we're going to take a look at some video of the last time you played IND, which ironically was at your home court, which you got opened last year. How has it helped you? It's had to be a great luxury, and you guys are defending your home court with a lot of pride, huh?
Yes, it's allowed us certainly to get some additional practice time, and over the holidays, traditionally we haven't had the opportunity to get the additional practice time, and it's improved the overall skill development of our players as well.
Okay. Speaking of players, Angel McCottry, we just saw Tanisha Foster, Sade Swan. You have a lot of good quality players, coachable quality players, huh?
Yes, this team has a lot of chemistry and balance. We have players who are actually starters backing up starters, so that allows us to get quality substitutions in the game and contribute in areas that we need at that particular time on the floor.
Good practices too, I would think, huh?
Absolutely. You know, iron sharpens iron. So.
And we're talking about quality players, Jerome. Just within the radius of where St. Francis is, you've got IND not far from you, doing a great program there. Dunbar with a great program there. Western not that far from you. They've got a great program. All of these schools with sort of open enrollment, they can get any players they want, just like you. What's it like for you guys going after the girls players out there now?
Well, it's competitive. When you have open enrollment situations, certainly private schools all have open enrollment. So, you know, we're out looking at players just like other schools, and when we see a player that we feel fits our program and our institution, certainly, you know, we'd like to make sure that that particular player is interested in St. Francis.
Have you seen a change in the talent level of the girls over the years since you've started coaching?
Oh, absolutely. There's more opportunities for girls to play in recreation and also during the summer. And I think now you've got a lot of open gym situations where girls can just get quality free play.
Okay. Listen, thank you. 1 o'clock today, Villa Julie, St. Francis, and IND. Good luck to you. We appreciate everything you've done for girls high school sports. Now, still much more to come, but if you have a question or comment, please give us a call at 410-332-6363 or log on to replay at sunspot.net. Stay with us. We will be right back. Getting a hard wrap back.
Time to go. Go see your Toyota dealer for great truck values like full-size Tundras. Buy any Tundra now, including access cab and powerful V8 models, and choose 3.9% APR financing up to 5 years. Or go with $750 cash back from Toyota. Save hundreds more with an options package. Go for a tough Tacoma. Get an extra cab or Tacoma double cab and get hundreds in options package savings. It's time to go. Go for a great deal at your Toyota dealer.
Managing your money just became a lot easier with online banking from Baltimore County Savings Bank. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more, all from the convenience of your home. 24 hours a day. Just open up one of our free, no-hassle checking accounts. Sign up for internet service, and paying bills becomes as simple as a click of the mouse. No checks to write, no envelopes, no stamps to buy. You'll find all this and more when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's a hospital in Maryland where babies no bigger than the palm of your hand are being given new hope. A hospital where a dedicated team of doctors and nurses have increased to over 90% the survival rate of infants born as small as 1.75 pounds. A hospital where parents can take comfort in knowing that the whole world can revolve around the tiniest of patients. Who's delivering this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
That's it for this week's show. We'll see you next week.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now traveling to all 50 states in 50 weeks in search of America.
Jordan, Houston, Iverson, and Kobe. A big-time doubleheader. NBA Sundays on ABC. Today, we got hoops.
If you're injured in an accident caused by someone else's negligence, it can be devastating. That's why you need the concerned representation of Science Kirk and Miles at 1-800-LAWYERS.
Let's talk about it. Because if you have a phone, you have a lawyer.
Every year, due to medical malpractice, thousands of babies suffer birth injuries resulting in cerebral palsy, or CP. For a free legal consultation to protect your child, call Science Kirk and Miles at 1-800-CP-ADVICE.
Hi, everybody. Fred Manfro for my friends Adams Jeep in Aberdeen. Over the years, Adams Jeep has established an outstanding reputation. Pat, what separates Adams Jeep from the rest?
It's friendly, it's personal. The sales staff, the service staff, they're fantastic. I wouldn't buy a car anywhere else but Adams.
Sue, your experience at Adams Jeep has been outstanding.
It has. We've been coming here for service for over 8 years. It's been a great experience for me and my family. Wonderful, courteous staff.
Why don't you come to Aberdeen to find out for yourself? Adams Jeep, located a long fly ball from New Ripken Stadium.
Join Mary Beth Marsden, Denise Story, and Brian Wood weeknights on The Latest at 11.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Sam Davis, sports editor with the Sun. With me, as always, the man who's going to lead us through a lot of exciting highlights this week, WMAR TV sports analyst Keith Mills.
We're
Keith,
a team. We're always a team.
Hey, yeah, but you lead the way.
No. Sam, got a lot of good stuff today. Coming up, we'll meet this week's Sun Athletes of the Week. Levi Stukes of Randallstown and Navia Brown of Milford Mill. St. Francis and Mount St. Joe are crowned champions. We go to Westminster for the state wrestling championships, and Sharon Johnson, the coach of Milford Mill's track program, will join us in studio.
All right, and we will begin our Toyota highlights with one of the most exciting Catholic League Boys Championships ever. It was played on Tuesday night as third-ranked Mount St. Joe took on number 8 Archbishop Spalding. The Gales have beaten Spalding twice already during the season.
Yeah, Sam, what a game it was. It was played at Goucher College, standing room only. Among the crowd, Will Wells and Mike Daniel, the coaches at Towson Catholic and St. Francis. 8 Catholic League crowns between them. Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti into every play. The game was so intense, even the officials took a beating.
Oh, man, watch this official go down here. Look at that. You saw a shot of Bisciotti earlier, man. Maybe there's somebody out there that can play for the Ravens, take down the official like that.
Yeah, Billy Warren, the referee. Former basketball standout at Andover High School. Andy Bauer, the assistant to Pat Clatchy. His Gales won the regular season Catholic League crown. Mike Glick working hard. Look at the intensity on his face. His Cavaliers won the tournament last year. Spalding in red. A rare fast break here off the miss. Gus Durr to Dave Douglas to number 31, Will Bowers for the dunk.
All right, watch big Will Bowers here. That's the 7-footer who's headed for the University of Maryland. He had 26 points in this game, and he just got better as the season went on.
St. Joe answers. Keon Lattimore with a 3.
Keon Lattimore, that's Ray Lewis's little brother, but he's made a name for himself at Mount St. Joe. Not only a football player, but a basketball player. 20 points in this game for Keon.
42-42 tie. Last 3 minutes, unbelievable. Listen in to both coaches.
Type of thing here for like fracking them. If they run like the triple screen, you gotta switch out. Second shot. All right, now right now what we're gonna do, we're gonna give him a little 1-3-1 look real quick, okay? Dave's gonna be here. Matt's on ball side. Jets is on weak side. Rudy's on ball side.
Pat Clatchy and Mike Glick. Will Bowers listens and listens close. Here's the last 3 minutes. First, Tim Brackney to number 21, Rudy Gay.
Watch Rudy Gay here. Nice move on Rudy Gay, getting that basket there. He also played great defense on Mount St. Joe's Will Thomas. Finished with 8 points for Rudy Gay.
St. Joe answers. Brian Johnson nails the 3. St. Joe up 45-44. Spalding answers. Douglas to Rudy Gay inside to Bowers. Nice ball fake. Posts up, goes off the glass. It's 46-45 Spalding.
Good move by Bowers.
Yeah, excellent move. St. Joe answers. Kyle O'Connor, number 10, gets the ball back and hits the 3.
All right, watch Kyle O'Connor here nailing that 3. He and Brian Johnson combined for 12 points for Mount St. Joe. Balanced scoring attack for the Gales.
40 seconds left. Spalding Jesse Brooks to Bowers. He has it stripped. He gets it back, hits the tough shot. It's 49-48 St. Joe. 12 seconds left, Sam, and you can feel the intensity on the players.
Yeah, this is amazing. You know, we talked earlier about this is one of the top Catholic League games. Look at Ray Lewis's little brother there. See the intensity on his face. See the intensity on Bowers, a guy who's come along very well.
Here's how it ends. Spalding inbounds. Rudy Gay to Bowers. He misses. The last 5 shots put up by Spalding, they play volleyball. Gus Sturr, Rudy Gay. No way it doesn't go in. Will Thomas and St. Joe celebrate a 49-48 win. Unbelievable.
That's an exciting inning. That's how every high school basketball game can end. Look at these guys pouring onto the court.
First Catholic League tournament crown in 32 years for St. Joe. When it ended, Keon Lattimore and Pat Clatchy said this.
We've had a great season, and we just wanted to cap it off with a championship win tonight. So, we won the regular season and won the tournament. So, just it's a great game. I mean, that's what high school basketball is all about.
And we knew Spalding today was going to come to play because we beat them 2 times during the regular season, and because they're the defending champions. But we knew we had a chance at the title. We just wanted to come out and make the best of it. It's the first one in school history.
Oh, Ray Lewis would be proud of his brother, hugging Andy Bauer right there. Sam, doesn't get any better than that.
No,
buddy.
it doesn't. And remember, Keon Lattimore early in the season wasn't going to play for St. Joe.
Right.
He decided to play, became a key player for this team. They finished the season 28-3, Spalding 25-6. Both teams headed for the Alhambra tournament.
Unbelievable.
Right. Now, the boys and girls state basketball tournament got underway this week. Friday night at Douglas. Top-ranked Randallstown played number 6 Douglas in a rematch of last year's Class 3A region final.
This game played at Douglas, where last year Rodney Cofield's Ducks beat the Rams to win the region championship. They went on to win the state championship. Kim Rivers' club was the state champ 2 years ago. On Friday, they opened a 17-point lead in the 3rd quarter, but Douglas comes back. Divine Morris to number 20 Charles Brooks for the slam dunk. Watch the play here. Beautiful penetration by...
Big shot.
Yeah, big shot. The lead is 13, but great players rise up. Levi Stoops does it again.
Watch Levi Stoops, nice drive here. Gets the contact, gets the basket anyway. Had 26 points for this guy who was all-Met first team last season. Last year, Levi made some comments that Douglas taped on the board. This season kept his mouth shut.
Levi again here. Randallstown leads 58-51. 4th quarter. Rams get a huge list from that guy, number 5, Terrence Bro.
Terrence Bro, nice job there getting inside. He scored 18 points. Jamel Raymond of Randallstown had 14 points and 8 rebounds.
Jermaine Bolden brings Douglas back the other way.
Jermaine Bolden, big scorer for Douglas in this game. He had 21 points. Nice move inside there. Power dunk.
Yeah, that was Tommy Bro. Kim Rivers' Rams up 66-60. But again, Divine Morris brings Douglas back. Smallest guy on the court, off the glass. It's 73-70 with 15 seconds left. Now, inbounds to Morris. He misses the 3-point shot, and Randallstown grabs the rebound.
All right, that's Tommy Bro there. He had 8 points and had 4 blocks in this game. Played great defense.
Douglas missed 5 of 6 shots from 3-point land to end the game. You see the Randallstown fans celebrate. 73-70. The Rams win, and they're going back to College Park.
Big win for Randallstown, coming to Douglas's West Baltimore house and beat him. Randallstown 22-1, Douglas 22-3 on the season. A quick look at the boys basketball top 5. You see the only loss was Annapolis losing Friday night to Friendly in the state region final. St. Joe, you saw 1. Randallstown won 2 games to advance to the state semifinals next week at the Comcast Center. Also advancing were number 2 Douglas, number 5 Lake Clifton, and Glen Burnie, Southern of Baltimore, and Havre de Grace, all on their way to next week's state semifinals.
Yeah, 2 other boys' notes, as Sam just said. Lake Clifton beat Mervo in the 4A regionals thanks to a half-court shot at the buzzer by Paris Carter. And Glen Burnie beat unbeaten Thomas Johnson Friday night in Coach Tom Dickman's last game ever at TJ. Unbelievable win for Coach Mike Rudd's Gophers. Sam, without a doubt, one of the biggest, maybe the biggest upset ever in Anne Arundel County basketball.
Tom Dickman is a legend up there. He's headed to Hood College. This was his last game at home. They had the better team on paper, but Glen Burnie pulls it out. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and leading into another unbelievable story right now.
All right, the girls' IAAMA Conference Championship was decided last Sunday as St. Francis put its #1 ranking on the line against number 4 IND.
Yeah, this game was played at Villa Julie College before a good crowd. At stake, the coveted IAAMA Conference Championship trophy. 3rd quarter, St. Francis coached so well by Jerome Shelton. We had him on the show last week. Watch Ronise Kirby, off balance, gets the roll. Her only 2 points of the game stretches the lead to 16. But IND comes back, Colby Lee to Caroline Wesley.
Yeah, those two players there, Colby Lee had 8 points. Caroline Wesley had 7 points for IND to keep them in this game.
And then Colby Lee makes another big play. The spin, the off-balance shot. It's a brand new ball game. IND down 4. Herb Holter's Indians down 32-28 after 3, but St. Francis, number 12, Niteria Burrell with the steal and layup.
Beautiful job by Niteria Burrell. She only had 5 points, but she sparked a 16-2 run for St. Francis with that play.
Yeah, and then St. Francis plays some long ball. Tamara Rogers to Shade Swan.
Shade Swan led St. Francis in this game with 16 points.
39-28, St. Francis brings the crowd to the feet. IND makes one more run. Sheandra Jones.
Sheandra Jones there. She led IND with 12 points, but unfortunately, after that basket, she fouled out.
Again, Niteria Burrell makes the big play, this time with the feed to Angel McCautry. Angel scored just 6 points, but St. Francis got 18 from its bench, and they win 48-32. Their second IAAM championship, and you see the celebration there.
All right, and St. Francis finishes the season 26-2 with 20 straight wins. IND not a bad season at 21-7.
Yes, they are number 1, as Angel McCautry just said.
This year's girls champions from the city in Baltimore County met Saturday with a trip to the state Class 4A semifinals on the line. Woodlawn won the region last season to break a 6-year streak by Western.
Yeah, this game was played at Woodlawn, where the Warriors are unbeaten, and a good crowd turnout. Kodak moment right there. Dwayne Burrows, his unbeaten team, 1 win away from the state semifinals at Catonsville. Donchez Graham's Western Dove looking to pull off another upset. Remember last week they beat Dunbar in the city championship, but they were down early thanks to some long-range shooting from Tierra Wiley.
Tierra Wiley, big jumper from the corner there for 3 points. She had 2 of those, finished with 18 points.
But
I'm sorry, 8 points.
Western, number 11, freshman Ebony Dennis.
Ebony Dennis, a freshman, playing great for Western. She had 11 points. Janelle Hughes also played well for Western with 21 points.
That's Zandrea Ben right there. It's 59-55 Western. Ben had 10 points and 11 rebounds. But 2 big plays right there. One by number 25. I'm sorry, that was Zandrea Ben right there. Western is down, but Dwayne Burrows' club comes back. Wiley hits another big 3 there. And then the Woodlawn Warriors gets a last plea from Burrows. Says, ladies, come on, we're so close. Great feed right there from Rhonda Shelley to Kim Carr.
Kim Carr scored 13 points and had 12 rebounds. Brittany Taylor of Woodlawn, 13 points, 6 steals. Rhonda Shelley, 7 points, 13 rebounds. She also had 3 steals and an assist in the last minute 8 of the game.
Yeah, that was Shelley's big basket there. Woodlawn wins 68-61. The Warriors are still unbeaten.
That's right.
And Sam, their season is still alive.
That's right.
Heading to Catonsville.
They're on to Catonsville at UMBC for the state semifinals next week. Woodlawn 23-0. Western finishes at 21-5. Quick look at the girls' top 5. You see top-ranked St. Francis won its only game to capture the IAAM title, beating number 4 IND. Number 2 Woodlawn won 3 games to advance to next week's state semifinals at UMBC. Also advancing with wins on Saturday were Milford Mill, Catonsville, Aberdeen, Lock Raven, and Dunbar. Number 3 Arundel, and number 5 River Hill had games later on Saturday. Be sure to check out a copy of the Sun tomorrow or check sunspot.net for those results.
You got it. State wrestling tournament was held this weekend at McDaniel College in Westminster. Owings Mills and River Hill, 2 of the area public schools favored to take home state championships. Guy Pritzker, the head coach at Owings Mills, his team won the state dual meet just last week. They are always a perennial wrestling power, and once again they're looking for another team's championship. Started the day 6.5 points behind Hartford Tech. This is action in the semifinals at 171 pounds. Eric Fischel of Owings Mills, Steve Stoddard of Duval.
All right, Eric Fischel here of Owings Mills. Close match. He led by 1 point with seconds left, but Steve Stoddard of Duval rolls him for the pin to win this match.
Yes, Eric Fischel, though, gained some valuable points for Owings Mills in their semifinal push for the state championship. At 215 pounds, great story. Joe Navarre is the coach at Joppatown. Once upon a time, he won a high school state championship. Well, last night, his son Jeremy took on Devin Harris of Perryville in the state semis, and Sam Jeremy getting it done here.
That's right, Jeremy Navarre from Joppatown. He wins 6-0 over Devin Harris of Perryville and sets up a match last night with Aberdeen's Justin Brown crown in the 215-pound championship.
Yeah, the state wrestling tournament wrapped up late last night in Westminster at McDaniel College. Check today's paper for the results. And Owings Mills, Hartford Tech, where they're going after each other big time in the race for the 1A, 2A state championship.
All right, we'll take a quick look at our wrestling top 5. Not a lot, in fact, no dual meet action. The records you're seeing there, actually, the final dual meet records there. You saw that the state championships are going on, and the private schools, Boys Latin, Mount St. Joe, and McDonough are already done for the season.
Yes, they are.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to meet the Sun's Athletes of the Week.
Yeah, so stay with us. There's more to come on this week's Replay Sun High School Sports Show.
Brought to you by your Toyota dealer, where 17 different models mean more choice and better value. Get the feeling, Toyota.
There are 39 reasons to buy a Toyota truck. Reason 19, Toyota Tacoma 4x4 has the highest ground clearance in its class. Reason 22, Tacoma has one of the highest standard towing capacities in its class. Reason 7, J.D. Power & Associates named Tacoma best compact pickup and initial quality. Reason number 1, for utility, comfort, and value, you can't beat Toyota's legendary quality and toughness. There are lots of reasons to buy a Tacoma right now. This has only been a few of them. See your Toyota dealer and find the one that's best for you.
He's just terrific, and he's brought kind of a reptilian sense of balance to business that I think was missing from our warm-blooded employees before.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sometimes when we touch,
why do people love Geico?
The honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes.
Because 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
If you live in Hartford County, you already know what a marvelous place it is to call home. Now you'll be able to enjoy your Hartford County lifestyle even more, thanks to the new Hartford section in the Baltimore Sun. That's where you'll find everything you love about Hartford living. You'll find in-depth local news reporting. You'll find terrific photos and interesting feature stories. And you'll also find outstanding local high school sports coverage. So look for the new Hartford section every week in the Sunday Sun. Available at a newsstand near you.
There's a hospital in Maryland where in 1920, doctors first showed the world surgery could be performed on the heart. A hospital whose pioneering excellence continues today, with doctors developing advanced videoscopic procedures to reduce pain and recovery time. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Welcome back to Replay Sun High School Sports. Every week, the Sun selects its athletes of the week, and each week, we introduce them to you here. Our girls' athlete of the week is Novia Brown from Milford Mill. The reigning All-Metro Indoor Track Performer of the Year delivered 38 of the Millers' 45 points, leading them to their second consecutive Class 3A 2A state championship. The senior added 3 gold medals and a silver medal to her cachet of state titles. She won the 300 meters in 39.7 seconds and the 500 in 117.1. She then joined seniors Kamara Ash, Megan Pinkney, and Dominic Washington to win the 1600 relay in 407.84. The same foursome placed second in the 800 relay by crossing the finish line in 147.83. Brown, who won 3 gold medals in last season's state finals, swept the 300 and 500 and ran legs on the winning 800 and 1600 relay teams in the Baltimore County and 3A2A Central Region Championships. Now, our boys athlete of the week is Levi Stooks, a 6'2" senior All-Metro guard from Randallstown. He scored 26 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, made 7 assists, and had 3 steals in Randallstown's 77-55 Baltimore County Championship victory over Woodlawn. A 4-year varsity letterman, Stooks earned the title of Baltimore County Player of the Year last season. He averaged 27.5 points, posting a 27.9 scoring average as a junior. He also averaged 7 assists, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals. With Stooks leading the way, number 1 Randallstown has won 45 of its past 47 games heading into this week's state playoffs. And Stooks' 4-year career at Randallstown is 86-7. The Rams won the state crown his sophomore year when he scored 14 points and had 10 rebounds in a title game against Thomas Johnson. We want to congratulate both Novia Brown. She's off touring one of her prospective colleges today. And also congratulations to Levi Stooks, although he could not be here with us. All right. Now it's time for coaches, don't forget, if you want to nominate Athletes of the Week, check out Wednesday's sports section of the Sun to find out how to do it. Now stay tuned for more Replay Sun High School sports. But first, here's this week's Sunspot question. With the snow covering the fields, what would you prefer to do for spring sports? Practice indoors, practice in the parking lot, or wait for better weather? You can place your vote at www.sunspot.net/sports/high school.
The average new car dealer can offer you one or two sport utility choices. Your Toyota dealer has a lot more. 5 SUV choices, including RAV4, the most fuel-efficient SUV. Highlander, named best in initial quality. The full-size Sequoia with room for 8. The legendary Land Cruiser. And now the most powerful 4Runner ever. All new with available V8 power. The average dealer can't offer you any of these choices. Only your Toyota dealer has them. More choices, better choices. Toyota.
If you're planning to purchase a new car, boat, RV, or if you want to make home improvements, Baltimore County Savings Bank can help you make it happen. With a variety of financing plans, we are sure you will find one suited to meet your needs. And as always, we fully explain the loan transaction, so you will know you made the right decision. You'll get more from your bank when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank, locally owned and operated and growing to meet your needs.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Visit sunspot.net and find out. Sunspot, the answers to life in Maryland.
People from all over America come to a hospital in Maryland to leave dialysis behind. A hospital where caring surgeons and nurses have led the world's most successful live donor kidney transplant program to a remarkable success rate. A hospital where videoscopic surgery allows loved ones and friends to donate easily and walk out in just a day or two. Who's leading the way to this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
Two area players were named to the rosters for the regional game at the Jordan Capital Classic High School All-Star Basketball Game. Annapolis High's All-Metro guard LaRon J. Owens and Archbishop Spalding 7-foot center Will Bowers will play for the Blue Squad. The game will be played April 17th at the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. Okay, joining us this week on Replay Sun High School Sports as our special interview is Sharon Johnson, who is the head coach for the Milford Mill girls track team. Sharon, welcome to Replay.
Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations, too.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Congratulations, because you have the team that not only won a 3A, 2A state title, they also won the Baltimore County title and also shared the Central Region Championship with Franklin. And remarkably, you did it essentially with 5 athletes, and we wanted to get you on the show and talk about that. Are you surprised at how much you were able to accomplish this indoor season when essentially just 5 players doing most of the bulk of the work?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Talk to us about, I know that you said going into the Baltimore County Championship, you did not, get your kids up by saying, hey, we can win this thing. It wasn't until as you went along in it that you started to see, as the points started to add up, we got a shot at this with only 5 kids. Tell us about that experience in the county championship.
Oh, yeah. In the county championship, I just thought that we would place about 2nd or 3rd. Mm-hmm. So I was looking forward to the 2nd or 3rd trophy. And it wasn't until about the 8th event that I realized that, okay, we have a really good shot at this. Mm-hmm. And from there, we just took off.
Same scenario in the States? Did you think when you went in that you had a chance to win it?
I thought about 2nd. I thought that we would get about 2nd, realistically. Mm-hmm. I wanted to win, but I thought we would get 2nd. Right. And I even had a conversation with the Frederick Douglass High School coach, who came over and told me that he was going to beat me. So I was like, okay, and
you showed him. I guess he didn't come back and say congratulations, did he?
No, yes, he did. As a matter of fact,
he did. Good for him. Good for him. Or her, I should say.
How odd is that? I mean, folks may follow indoor track, but it's not like baseball or basketball where you have a good idea of how many people actually play. How odd is it to have 5 athletes and go out and win a state championship?
Very, very odd. I think Milford did it with 5 boys. I want to say in 1999.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's not it's something that's unusual, but not, you know.
Unprecedented.
Right.
Sam earlier mentioned Nevaeh Brown, one of the athletes of the week this week. Earlier, Dominique Washington won an athlete of the week. They kind of carried your team, but having those two leaders had to be a real blessing for a coach.
Oh, yes, yes. That comes along once in a lifetime,
Yes.
I think. If I get the opportunity to see it again, then I'll welcome it, but I don't really expect it, you know. I mean, you just don't get athletes like that every other year, not at a program, not with a program like ours.
Right. Tell us about the other three kids other than Brown and Washington that were key for you.
We had Kamara Ash. She was instrumental in our relays, both of our relays. She was our leadoff leg, very intelligent runner, so I rely on her a lot. We had Megan Pinkney, and she's a senior. I consider her our unsung hero because we needed her as well. And then we had freshman Ariana Forbes, and she also competed on our 4x200 meter relay. So
the relationships you build with the girls, they obviously are close with you. Can you really talk about just what that's like? I mean, you ran track at Carver, and you ran for someone else. Your impact you have on them, how enormous is it?
Oh, I think it's an enormous amount. I didn't think that it would be that much until we got to the States, and I realized that a lot of them were kind of shook up about running. They were nervous. I mean, different coaches were coming to them and saying the things that they were saying to me, and so you know, they were pretty. It was pretty tough for them, and so I just basically guided them with the experience that I had in the past in running championship meets.
All right, real quick, can you do it in the outdoor season?
It's going to be tough. More events, 5 more events, so it's definitely going to be tough.
Well, congratulations. Job well done.
Thank you.
Give our best to the girls and everyone over at Milford. And tell Pam Wright, who I went to high school with, that good luck next week in the state championships because they beat Falston yesterday.
Yes.
And she looks good for, I'm not going to say how old she is. Okay, if you have a question or comment, please call us at 410-332-6363 or email us to replay@sunspot.net. And Pam's picking that phone up right now, and she's going to give me a hard time. Stay with us. We'll be right back. First, let's take a look at this week's statistical leaders.
The average new car dealer can offer you 4 new car choices. Your Toyota dealer has a lot more. 9 quality new car choices, including Camry, the best-selling car in America. Corolla, all new. Sporty Solaras, speedy Celicas, economical Echos, luxurious Avalons, the all-new Matrix, mid-engine MR2s, and the gas-electric hybrid Prius. The average car dealer can't offer you any of these choices. Only your Toyota dealer has them. More choices, better choices. Toyota.
Managing your money just became a lot easier with online banking from Baltimore County Savings Bank. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more, all from the convenience of your home. 24 hours a day. Just open up one of our free, no-hassle checking accounts. Sign up for internet service, and paying bills becomes as simple as a click of the mouse. No checks to write, no envelopes, no stamps to buy. You'll find all this and more when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's a hospital in Maryland where babies no bigger than the palm of your hand are being given new hope. A hospital where a dedicated team of doctors and nurses have increased to over 90% the survival rate of infants born as small as 1.75 pounds. A hospital where parents can take comfort in knowing that the whole world can revolve around the tiniest of patients. Who's delivering this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
10 years ago, March 7th, 1993, Towson Catholic beat Loyola to win the Catholic League Tournament Championship. Sharif Butler had 23, and Sam, TC beat Loyola 3 times that week that year.
All right, that's it for this week's edition of Replay Sun High School Sports. Thanks for watching.
ABC News. MVP candidates collide. Nowitzki, Garnett, Mavs, Timberwolves, NBA Sundays on ABC. Today, coverage begins at 1 Eastern.
If you're injured in an accident caused by someone else's negligence, it can be devastating. That's why you need the concerned representation of Science Kirk and Miles at 1-800-LAWYERS.
Let's talk about it, because if you have a phone, you have a lawyer.
Every year, due to medical malpractice, thousands of babies suffer birth injuries resulting in cerebral palsy, or CP. For a free legal consultation to protect your child, call Science Kirk and Miles at 1-800-CP-ADVICE.
For nearly a century, Balfour has celebrated success, offering the highest quality and finest selection of high school class rings. Balfour celebrates achievement in all its forms, academic or athletic, team or individual, national or local. Capture your memories for a lifetime with a class or championship ring from Balfour. For more information, contact your local Balfour office at 410-321-4433 or log on to www.balfour.com. Memories ring true with Balfour.
It's Nationwide bailout sale. Negotiations start at cost. It's worth your drive to Nationwide.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Sam Davis, sports editor for the Sun. With me as always, sports anchor here at WMAR ABC2, Keith Mills. Keith, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Yeah, we were gone for a couple of weeks. The last time we were here, there was snow on the ground. They were playing basketball. Snow's all gone. We had a little bit of rain, but we're well into spring season and lots of highlights from this week.
Yeah, lots of good highlights, lots of good stuff coming up on the show today. Coming up, we'll meet this week's Sun Athletes of the Week. Lacrosse players Kristen Wegbo of Mount Hebron and Kyle Batten of Delaney. We'll also talk in studio with our special Sun interview guest, Mount St. Joe head baseball coach Dave Norton, who this week won his 400th game. But first, it is springtime. That means baseball and track and
lacrosse.
Oh, yes,
lots
indeed.
of lacrosse. And lacrosse season's first big matchup took place Tuesday with defending MIAA Conference champion Boys Latin, ranked #1 in the area, and riding an 8-game win streak, taking on #3 Gilman.
Yeah, this game was played over at Gilman. The rousing student body on hand as always. Dave Allen's Greyhounds ranked #3. Bobby Shriver's Lakers. King of the Hill coming in, ranked #1. Ably assisted by Quinn Kesnick, a member of our broadcast team. I guess needed another job.
Is this a game of the week? Is this Channel 2 game of the week? I'm confused.
Second quarter game tied at 1. Gilman's Bart Weinstein. The shot stopped by Trey Sheehan. At the other end, he clears to J.R. Stahl, to Chris Reed, to Greg Baggin. It all started with great goaltending, Sam, by Sheehan.
Right. Boys Latin's Trey Sheehan had 11 saves in this game. Now, Greg Batten, also of Boys Latin, is one of just 3 scores for Boys Latin.
2-1 BL at that point. 17 seconds later, #8 in white, Zach Goldberg. It's 2-2 with 3:17 left in the half. 26 seconds later, Boys Latin, #22, Greg Bagan, to #29, Connor Larkin. It's 3-2 BL. But, Sam, it would have been worse had it not been for Grant Zimmerman. Alex Smith with a point-blank shot. Zimmerman up to the task.
Yeah, watch Zimmerman here. Excellent job on this save. He had 15 for Gilman to help keep them in this game.
Yes, he did. 3-3 in the fourth quarter. Gilman takes the lead for good. #19, Chris Merwin behind the goal. It's 4-3 Gilman. And then with 5 minutes left, they seal the deal. Zach Goldberg again spinning like Earl Monroe with a lacrosse stick, and that clinches it.
Here goes Zach Goldberg spinning there for one of his 2 goals on the game. He was the only multiple goal scorer in the game for either team.
5-3 Gilman wins. A tough defensive struggle over at Gilman.
All right, and Boys Latin's record improves to 4-1. Gilman now 2-0. All right, Park School had a long time to think about its 1-goal loss to Spalding in last year's MIAA B Conference title game. Friday, the 15th ranked Bruins got a chance to gain some measure of revenge as they hosted the 3-time defending MIAA B Conference champions.
Yeah, this game was played at Park. The Bruins lost by a goal to Spalding in last year's B Conference game. Walt Blahut, back as Spalding's coach, runs the Brooklyn Park Broncos youth program, if you can believe that. And he watched Park goalie Spencer Hickok play the game of his life for Park.
Great save by Spencer Hickok there. One of 17 saves he had to anchor that Park defense.
Still, Spalding takes the lead here. Matt Latonic, he's headed to Towson. He also played basketball for the Cavaliers basketball squad. 2-1 Cavaliers second quarter, but it was Matt's only goal. Third quarter, Park takes control. Look at this. Russ Nakamowitz behind the back pass to Josh Lauren.
Yeah, Josh Lauren there with 2 goals, and Russ Nakamowitz, you just mentioned, he had 5 assists. Those guys combining for 7 points right there.
4-2 Park at that point. Spalding back. Greg Hinkleman in front. It's 4-3 Park midway through the third, but a big day capped off here by number 4, John Schneider, working one-on-one and the jump shot for Park.
John Schneider with the jump shot there. He was the big scorer for Park with 4 goals to lead the way for the Bruins.
Park wins 7-3 to avenge last year's championship game loss.
And Park improves to 2-0. Spalding now 2-2. Okay, earlier in the week, McDonough was the hunted when the number 8 Eagles set their sights on taking down number 2 Loyola and succeeded with the 1-goal win in overtime. But Saturday, the Eagles were the hunted as number 11 Centennial, the defending state class 2A 1A champions, traveled to McDonough with an upset on their minds.
Yeah, Sam, I always find this interesting when the private schools play the public schools because sometimes the public schools are creeping up on them. This might have been one of those cases. McDonough, though, with the early goal right there.
Yeah, McDonough did a nice job. Tyler Kelly and Skylar Hopkins each had 2 goals for McDonough in this game.
Centennial kept it close all day, the goal right there, but some great goaltending from the Eagles.
Mark Nakasone of Centennial had 13 saves. Centennial did rally somewhat. They were down 5-1 at the half, but rallied somewhat in the second half before losing 6-4.
Yeah, you just saw Jake Reed. He's the coach of McDonough. He once played on the national championship team in Maryland, coached by Buddy Beardmore. The Eagles scored another goal there, but in the end, it was McDonough winning, but winning close. Some great goaltending by McDonough there. They go on to win 6-4 in that private public school showdown.
That's right, and both teams now with 2-1 records, and we're going to take a look at our boys across top 5. You see number 3 Gilman. They could be the number 1 team next week. The Greyhounds went 2-0, including the win over top-ranked Boys Latin. Number 2 Loyola could have laid claim to the top spot, but they lost in an overtime game to McDonough. Number 4 Calvert Hall lost to Severn. Number 5 St. Paul's lost twice to Loyola and Boys Latin. Okay, Thursday in baseball, 2 Carroll County baseball team. Girls lacrosse bowl. No losses among the top 5 there in the girls lacrosse team. Top-ranked Mount Hebron and number 2 Hereford each won a game, and number 3 NDP and number 5 Roland Park each won 2 games.
Kristen Weber was about ready to charge over and give you a check because you were not doing the
Got to get that girls lacrosse bowl. And I'm sorry, I'm moving ahead too fast. All right, now on to baseball. Thursday in Carroll County, 2 baseball teams trying to establish themselves as contenders met in the county matchup at Liberty was hosted by Westminster.
Yeah, and Westminster always feels a pretty solid baseball team. The game played at Westminster where the Owls got a huge game from that guy, number 2, L.J. Matza. 4th inning, Matza versus Mike Litz, cranks it up. Home run for Matza.
L.J. Matza had 2 home runs in this game for Westminster.
Yeah, the Owls scored 4 runs in the 3rd, 2 in the 6th, but Liberty comes back. Mike Litz helps his own cause. Cracks one to left center field. Sean Houck, number 15, scores. It's 6-3 Westminster after 4. But then in the 7th, Sam, as you said, man, L.J. Matza gets a high fastball and doesn't miss that as well. The Owls go up 10-4.
Yeah, good job by L.J. Matza. Like I said earlier, 2 home runs in this game to pace Westminster as they try to establish themselves as a team to beat in Carroll County.
And then Mike Knight, number 15, makes it stick for the Owls. He gets the last out on a fly ball to right field, and Westminster wins, beats Liberty in this Carroll County showdown, 10-4, up in the county, as they say.
Yeah, not a lot of baseball played last week, but let's take a look at our baseball top 5. You see, number 1 St. Paul's played only 1 game, and they lost that game to McDonough. It was a busy week for number 4 Mount St. Joe. They played 3 games, won 3 games, including the 400th career win for Coach Dave Norton, who we're going to talk to later. Number 2 Savannah Park won a game, while number 3 Old Mill and number 5 River Hill each played 2 games and won 2 games. On to the softball poll, number 1 Chesapeake and number 2 North County each played 2 games and each won 2 games. Number 3 Falston won its only game, but number 4 Spalding and number 5 Glen Burnie each lost their lone lane games. Glen
Got to give a plug to
unbeaten by number 1 Chesapeake.
North County's coach Bob Boyd, they're defending 4A state champs. Right. Went to high school with him at Brooklyn Park, and he's one of the greatest high school pitchers ever in the history of local baseball. But
2-0 week, they're off to a good start. Hey, coming up later in the show, we've got our athletes of the week,
and we'll talk with our Sun interview guest Dave Norton. So stay with us. There's more to come on this week's Replay Sun High School Sports Show.
Brought to you by your Toyota dealer, where 17 different models mean more choice and better value. Get the feeling. Toyota.
Hello? Peter, you considered my offer? I'll give you power.
I've got power.
I'll give you riches. Riches.
I've got riches.
All right, I'll leave it.
Now you can buy luxury without selling your soul. The 2003 Camry, the most irresistible Camry we've ever built.
He's just terrific, and he's brought kind of a reptilian sense of balance to business that I think was missing from our warm-blooded employees before.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sometimes when we touch,
Why do people love Geico?
the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes.
Because 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
If you live in Harford County, you already know what a marvelous place it is to call home. Now you'll be able to enjoy your Harford County lifestyle even more, thanks to the new Harford section in the Baltimore Sun. That's where you'll find everything you love about Harford living. You'll find in-depth local news reporting. You'll find terrific photos and interesting feature stories. And you'll also find outstanding local high school sports coverage. So look for the new Harford section every week in the Sunday Sun. Available at a newsstand near you.
There's a hospital in Maryland where in 1920, doctors first showed the world surgery could be performed on the heart. A hospital whose pioneering excellence continues today, with doctors developing advanced videoscopic procedures to reduce pain and recovery time. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
The Selby family will remember the 2003 state basketball championship weekend for a long time. As a forward on Dunbar's 1A state championship team, senior Byron Selby came off the bench to score 15 points, helping the Poets win their 8th state championship. Later that same day, Byron's dad, Wardell Selby, coached Dunbar's girls team to their 4th straight state crown. Congratulations to both Selbys and to the Dunbar boys and girls state championship basketball teams. Welcome back to Replay Sun High School Sports. Each week, the Sun selects its athletes of the week, and each week we introduce them to you. Sun's 2002 Female Athlete of the Year, Mount Hebron's Kristen Wagbo, helped the #1 Vikings get off to a quick start this season with 4 goals and an assist in a season-opening 27-3 win over Hammond. Wagbo, a senior, was named to the U.S. Under-19 lacrosse training team and will compete in the Women's Lacrosse Federation Championship in June at Towson University. Last season, the All-Metro attacker scored 61 goals and had 33 assists, leading the Vikings to a 19-0 season and their 6th consecutive state title, their 10th in 11 years. There is something about playing Falston that brings out the best in Delaney's Kyle Batten. After scoring 7 goals in a regular season game against the Cougars last year, the senior attackman had 6 goals and 2 assists as Delaney beat number 3 Falston 13-5. Go back for a second. That was 9 goals in the game last year. Batten is a do-it-all attackman who scores most of his goals from around the crease, but he is also capable of directing the Lions' offense. Last season, he had 75 goals and 33 assists and was named to the All-Metro team. Batten's Delaney team has won 27 straight games against public schools, and its last loss was to Falston. All right, Kyle, welcome to Replay Sun High School Sports, and Kristen, welcome to Replay Sun High School Sports. Kristen, let's start with you, and let's talk about this Mount Hebron team this season. You guys have won 10 of the last 11 state titles. You've been on the last 3 state championship teams. I guess the question is, how's this team looking this year? Is there a 4th one coming up for you?
Yeah, we look really good this year. We have like 11 seniors or something that are all going to Division I schools, and so we return a lot of experience and leadership, but we have 2 new goalies, so we're looking to step up our defense and help our new goalies out.
All right, great. I guess you got to start clearing a place on your trophy case for the next one that's coming in. Let's talk about you a little bit. Now, you were Player of the Year in basketball and lacrosse last season, and also named the Suns' overall Athlete of the Year. You've already been named Basketball Player of the Year again this season. Lacrosse season's going on right now. Talk to us a little bit about the 2 sports, and what is it about, I'm sorry, what I meant to say is you're going to lacrosse for college. You're going to go to Duke, we talked about. What is it about lacrosse that you like better than basketball, seeing that you've been so successful with both?
Well, I started playing basketball when I was really young, and it's really been like my first love, but then I picked up lacrosse, and I realized that that would be my ticket into college. So ever since then, I've been working hard in lacrosse to get into a really good college.
Okay. One more thing about basketball. Justin Chavarini, Alicia Mosley, Amy Mallon, all players who were stars at Mount Hebron basketball. But you're the #2 scorer all time at in Mount Hebron at basketball. Is that surprising for you at all?
Yeah, it is surprising. Basketball, I don't do that much out of season, so I really wouldn't expect me to be that good at it. But I guess it does show that I've worked really hard, and I am proud that I
Okay, great.
did that.
Let's move on to Kyle. And Kyle, let's talk about Delaney lacrosse, and particularly these games against Falston the last 2 years. 9 goals last year, 6 goals and 2 assists this year. What is it about Falston that brings out the best in you?
I guess you could say it's in a vengeance to the loss we had in 2001. It just drives our whole team to step it up, I guess.
And that loss was the last time you guys lost to a public school. You've won 27 straight games since then.
Correct.
Now, Delaney's also won three in a row state titles. You've been a part of all 3 of those state championship teams. And you said that this year's team is looking good. You guys have got some senior leadership. Your offense is looking good. Talk to us about this year's team and kind of size up your chances.
We have 10 seniors, 5 going to D1. We look real good. We got a strong goalie, defense and attack, and midfield also as well. I mean, all around we're looking real good, and our chances of winning states again are pretty high.
Good. Now, last season you had 75 goals and 33 assists. Obviously, you were a major part of the offense in terms of getting the ball in the net. This year, your role is a little bit different. Talk to us about your role this season.
With the graduation of Mike Obringer to Army, he's going to Army College. I mean, my role changes to more of a leadership role. I mean, I'm not going to be on the crease, like you said, as much. Right. I'll be carrying the ball more, but I also have Kerry Howard and an attackman and Jay Feely and Greg Naylor as midfielders to carry the ball as well. So, I mean, I'll be doing the same thing pretty much this year, and with a little more leadership.
Great. Now, we talked about Kristen. She's on her way to Duke to play lacrosse next season. You're on your way to Towson University to play lacrosse next season. Tell us about what you expect to accomplish at Towson and how you think you'll help their program.
I'm excited. I guess in the future, hopefully, I'll see some time on the field. I mean, I guess I'll work hard next year, try to earn a solid spot on the team, and then we'll go from there.
Great. Kristen, real quick, just Duke. Tell us about what you expect to accomplish at Duke.
Pretty much the same thing as Kyle. I just want to work really hard, and there's no promises of how much I'll play, so I hope to work hard and play next year.
Great. Okay, good luck to you both, and again, congratulations, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, coaches, if you want to nominate an Athlete of the Week, check out Wednesday's sports section in the Sun to find out how to do it. Now, if you have a question or comment, please give us a call at 410-332-6363, or you can email your comments to replay@sunspot.net. Stay tuned for more of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. But first, here's this week's Sunspot question. Which MIAA lacrosse team will have the best season? Boys Latin, Calvert Hall, Gilman, Loyola, McDonough, or St. Paul's? You can place your vote at www.sunspot.net/sports/high school. Sorry.
If you're planning to purchase a new car, boat, RV, or if you want to make home improvements, Baltimore County Savings Bank can help you make it happen. With a variety of financing plans, we are sure you will find one suited to meet your needs. And as always, we fully explain the loan transaction, so you will know you made the right decision. You'll get more from your bank when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank, locally owned and operated and growing to meet your needs.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Visit sunspot.net and find out. Sunspot, the answers to life in Maryland.
People from all over America come to a hospital in Maryland to leave dialysis behind. a hospital where caring surgeons and nurses have led the world's most successful live donor kidney transplant program to a remarkable success rate. A hospital where videoscopic surgery allows loved ones and friends to donate easily and walk out in just a day or two. Who's leading the way to this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
Last week we missed our Athletes of the Week, so here they are. Both athletes came from Dunbar State Championship boys and girls basketball teams. Our boys athlete was senior guard Herman Hayes. Herman's 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 steals led the Poets to their 8th straight state basketball championship. The girls athlete was Dunbar's 6-foot center Sierra Jones. Sierra's 15 points led Dunbar to their 4th straight state basketball championship. She's headed to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore next year. Congratulations to both athletes. Okay, this week joining us for our interview is Mount St. Joseph head baseball coach Dave Norton, the newest member of the 400-win coaching club. Dave, welcome to Replay and congratulations on number 400, which you got on Thursday.
Well, thank you. It's a long time.
A long time. 21
Everybody
seasons.
says that.
Yeah, right. 21 seasons, a total of 28 because you did the JV there for a while, but 21 seasons as a varsity coach and 400 wins. Just real quick, just reflect for us on what it's like to be around long enough to win 400 wins.
Yeah, it's a lot of memories, and I can't say that I have one particular memory, but you go back and you think of certain situations where you had players who came through and did some big things for you. When we won the championship in '86, we're at Memorial Stadium at the time. We're losing 3-0 with 2 outs, and we end up winning the ball game. You know, with a 2-out little blooper hit, and you know, exciting moments like that stick with you. So many other kids I've coached in the past, and big people like Mark Teixeira and so forth, and going different things and watching him hit home runs from both sides of the plate, and just outstanding memories.
You mentioned Mark Teixeira. Tonight, he will start at third base for the Texas Rangers. And what an extraordinary moment for you. We're going to take it back right now. We'll roll the tape to a couple of years ago, draft day 2001. Gavin Floyd, Mark Teixeira, next door neighbors in Severna Park. You coach both of them. They go, what, 4 and 5 in the draft. What a moment for you.
That probably is, for me, probably the highlight of my baseball career, just to have, you know, most coaches don't even get a chance to coach someone that has major league talent, to get someone in the first round of the draft and back-to-back from, you know, it's just outstanding.
Same neighborhood. We're looking at Mark right here. He's got to go down, and you know, K-Line was K-Line, but every great hitter in town, he's got to rank right there with any of them.
Yeah, he's just a pure hitter. You knew right from the beginning, even when his freshman year, that he was going to be that kind of ball player, and equally as powerful from both sides of the plate.
So you guys are off to a 7-0 start so far this season. We saw the poll earlier. St. Paul's was sitting on top at number 1. You talked about there's probably going to be some changes in there. But just size up the MIAA conference for us this season. Give us a scouting report on what's happening there.
I think it's going to be a competitive season. So far, we saw Spalding, and they're improved. We played Gibbons, and they're improved. John Carroll's very competitive. And I know St. Paul's going to be tough. I know McDonough's going to be tough. Loyola should be tough. So it should be a very competitive season. And what I always say to our kids is, if you're not ready, you can be beat any game.
Now, Dave, we saw highlights of you with Teixeira and Gavin Floyd. I mean, obviously, you stick with these guys for 3 or 4 years. They become like sons to you. But you actually have your son, Joe Norton, playing for you at St. Joe this year. Tell us how that experience has been so far.
That's been pretty special for me, too. It was a big decision, as far as the head coach. You don't want to look like dad's trying to make the team for him and so forth. And being a sophomore, he probably would have been okay down on the JV, being the starting shortstop on the JV. But he's an outstanding base runner, has great speed, runs the bases probably the best in the whole program. And in our league, we can run for the pitchers and catchers. So I said, let's bring him up. And he has scored 13 runs. I sound like a proud dad, but
hey, good coaching,
right?
Hey, well, he's part of that tradition now. And, you know, we all go back to the mid-'70s. Hal Sparks was there. Phil Punt played Dave Wessner. Right on through Brian Bent now, who's a coach for you. His dad, Jimmy Foyt, has been legendary around, and his son, Jimmy, was a tremendous player at Mount St. Joe. It just keeps rolling, does it not?
It does, and it's great to have that history and tradition at Mount St. Joe, and that's something we always talk about. And these players come back and they meet the other players, and they know what it means to be a Mount St. Joe baseball player.
Let me ask you this, Dave. Last couple of years, I think there's been a sort of like a reinvigorated local amateur baseball scene. You agree with that? Maybe the last 10 years, there's been an added maybe intensity amongst the amateur players?
I think so, and it helps in doing things like you guys are doing right now and having shows like this to present the athletes and getting it into the sun and so forth. But it seems there are more people coming out to watch the games, and the kids are competitive. And
it seems like more summer leagues, more summer teams.
Summer league is big, and in fact, this past summer,
your team won national championship.
Maryland Orioles,
and
that was big for Maryland. Just for Maryland itself to say we have these ball players that can play on a national level.
Okay. Well, we got some more time.
Sure,
We've got about another 2 minutes. Where do you trace that to? I mean, I remember when I was playing, it was huge, had a little down spell, and then it went back. Is it a program like the Maryland Orioles, which was spawned about 12 years ago, and now all these other teams trying to compete with them? Can you trace it back to that?
I think so. I think when you take a look at the summer programs, you're talking about first-class programs all around. And Yankee Rebels had a good program,
too. Absolutely, for you, Buddy Hill.
And Buddy Hill, all those teams. And they want to put a quality product on the field. And they put a lot of time, organization, and that helps. And people learn the game of baseball.
Absolutely.
And then it also helps to have people drafted, that in this area.
What's more important, the high school programs for the kids or summer? Or do they go hand in hand?
I think they're hand in hand. I think as far as player development, it's almost a year-long process. High school is extremely important for future, for colleges, recruitment, for draft. But the kids, they have to get better during the summer, and they have to play first-rate baseball. And the fall is important. Fall is important, fall ball, and then the kids have to work during the wintertime, work at camps. So it's a year-long process. Kids should play other sports. I don't say they should.
There's been some other players. Alan Strick now at Old Dominion possibly will get drafted when the draft rolls around. So it's not just Gavin and Tex that we hear about. But what a thrill for you tonight when Tex comes out and plays in just his second year of professional baseball, really. 2.5.
Can't wait for it to happen. Right. I'll be glued to the TV. And May the 31st is when they're supposed to come into town. So we'll be out there at Camden.
You better get some tickets for that crowd.
We better get some tickets.
Real quick, I just want to know: do you have another 21 seasons, another 400 wins in you?
I don't think so.
How about a couple more first-round draft picks at least?
That'd be great.
Always a pleasure. Very active in the Crown All-Star Baseball event for years, and we appreciate that as well.
All right.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the Replay Sun Sports Show right after this.
We build it to withstand earthquakes, the elements, anything you can imagine.
At Toyota, we build to withstand the things you can't imagine.
The Tundra was given the highest overall safety rating for full-size pickups by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The Toyota Tundra, better from the ground up.
Managing your money just became a lot easier with online banking from Baltimore County Savings Bank. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more, all from the convenience of your home. 24 hours a day. Just open up one of our free, no-hassle checking accounts. Sign up for internet service, and paying bills becomes as simple as a click of the mouse. No checks to write, no envelopes, no stamps to buy. You'll find all this and more when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's a hospital in Maryland where babies no bigger than the palm of your hand are being given new hope. A hospital where a dedicated team of doctors and nurses have increased to over 90% the survival rate of infants born as small as 1.75 pounds. A hospital where parents can take comfort in knowing that the whole world can revolve around the tiniest of patients. Who's delivering this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
On this date, St. Paul's upsets #1 ranked St. Mary's in boys lacrosse. St. Paul's down 3 goals, battle back behind senior Billy Rule, who scores 2 goals, including the game winner, as time runs out.
All right, that's it for this week's edition of Replay Sun High School Sports. For Keith Mills, I'm Sam Davis. Thanks for watching. Have a great week of sports.
Representation of Science, Kirk, and Miles at 1-800-LAWYERS.
Let's talk about it, because if you have a phone, you have a lawyer.
Every year, due to medical malpractice, thousands of babies suffer birth injuries resulting in cerebral palsy, or CP. For a free legal consultation to protect your child, call Science, Kirk, and Miles at 1-800-CP-ADVICE.
For nearly a century, Balfour has celebrated success, offering the highest quality and finest selection of high school class rings. Balfour celebrates achievement in all its forms, academic or athletic, team or individual, national or local. Capture your memories for a lifetime with a class or championship ring from Balfour. For more information, contact your local Balfour office at 410-321-4433 or log on to www.balfour.com. Memories ring true with Balfour. Combined electric and gas-powered engines could mean a tax deduction. For more, call Baltimore Tax Services.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Sam Davis, sports editor for the Sun. With me, as always, Keith Mills, sports anchor here at WMAR ABC2. Keith, welcome to another week of Replay.
A lot of good stuff. Good weather. Translates to some pretty good games this week. We'll meet this week's Athletes of the Week, Lindsay Ettinger of Chesapeake High School in Pasadena and Adam Graff of Mount Hebron. And we'll show you highlights of some of the area's best lacrosse, baseball, and softball teams.
All right, but we begin with lacrosse. Tuesday at Loyola, it was a rematch of last year's MIAA Conference Championship game as the 4th-ranked Dons hosted the 2nd-ranked Lakers from Boys Latin. Coming in, the Lakers defense had not allowed more than 5 goals in a game this season.
And Sam, in this game played at Loyola, they still haven't. Bobby Shriver's Lakers ranked #1, no stranger to that. Loyola in the white, though, scores first. Number 25, Sam Wagner, one-on-one with the goal, and it's 1-0 Dons. But then Boys Latin rips off 7 straight. Number 29, Connor Larkin, to number 22, Greg Boggin.
Yeah, these two guys team up for that goal. Greg Boggin had 2 goals on the day. Connor Larkin, 1 goal and 1 assist for BL.
6 seconds left in the first quarter. Adam Hagelin to Greg Boggin to number 26, Ryan Walterhofer.
Ryan Walterhofer, BL, he had 2 goals. His brother Shane Walterhofer added an assist for BL.
It was 7-1 Boys Latin at the half. Third quarter, Loyola tries to get back in it. Casey Milford to Emery Darrell. It's 7-2, but BL answers 2 minutes later with great ball movement. Adam Hagelin in front to number 10, Drew Peace.
Yeah, all kinds of balance for BL here. Adam Hagelin had 2 assists. Drew Peace had 3 goals.
That way all year for BL so far. And then, Sam, the defense did the rest. First, Casey Milford stopped by Trey Sheehan, the goalie, and then Emery Darrell stopped by Trey Sheehan, the BL defense suffocating again.
Yeah, excellent job. Trey Sheehan, you saw in a couple of stops there, he had 20 saves for BL, but also Junior Stahl, Joey Rollo, Burke Lombach, Evan Burns, Logan Burke all shut down the Loyola offense in this game. Great defense.
And in the fourth quarter, BL puts it away. Chris Boland to Chris Reed, 3 goals and 1 assist for Chris Reed, and BL rolls on. They win 12-5.
Yes, sir. They roll on to a 6-1 record. Loyola now 1-2. Earlier this season, Calvert Hall's Kevin Huntley scored 6 goals in a game. Friday at Calvert Hall, the 6th-ranked Cardinals hosted number 12 Mount St. Joe, and the Mount St. Joe defense knew it would need to control the prolific scorer in Huntley to have a chance.
And that was the challenge at Russo Stadium at Calvert Hall. Brian Kelly, the coach at Calvert Hall, ranked number 6 coming into the game. Tony Brockmeyer, his Mount St. Joe Gales on fire, as was Tony, ranked 12th coming out and leading 3-0 after this one. Michael Haynes to Brian Gargan.
Brian Gargan from Mount St. Joe on that goal there. He also added an assist later on.
But the Cardinals rip off 6 straight goals. 3 in 28 seconds. Number 24, Kevin Huntley to Nick Williams, who's headed to Navy. Great dodge to Mike Edwards in front. And then 23 seconds later, number 20, Jeff Reynolds will scoop it up after the celebration and feed Kevin Huntley, whose tricky bounce gets by Tom Scher.
Yeah, we talked about Kevin Huntley in the opener. This is a guy St. Joe needed to stop. Didn't do a good job on him. He had 7 goals and an assist. Had a 6-goal game earlier in the season.
5 seconds later, Matt Bushman makes it 6-3 Calvert Hall after 1. Second quarter, the Cards up 8-4 St. Joe. Brian Gargan to Ben Mundorf.
Yeah, beautiful job by Ben Mundorf. Got a hard shot there, went down, but gets back up. Ben Mundorf had 2 goals in this game. He's got a brother, Jerry, who's a freshman down at UMBC.
Yeah, 8-5 Calvert Hall at the half. Third quarter, Cards in control. Ian Bohager to Matt Bushman to Kevin Huntley.
Yeah, Matt Bushman, 3 goals for Calvert Hall here and an assist. Also, Nick Williams, good game for Calvert Hall with 2 assists and a goal.
13-5 final. Calvert Hall wins Friday afternoon over in Towson.
All right, and the Cardinals improved to 6-2. Mount St. Joe drops to 2-3. In recent years, to win the Howard County Boys Lacrosse title, usually you had to go through Mount Hebron. Friday night at Johns Hopkins, Centennial wanted to change that path to the title and show that this year it goes through Centennial. Coming in, the Eagles' lone loss was number 7, McDonough.
Yeah, right you are, Sam. Game played at Homewood Field, Johns Hopkins. Mount Hebron now coached by Tom Menard, who replaces Jeff Doolin, now an assistant at Towson. But Mike Siegert and his assistant, Jack Thomas, no strangers to Hopkins. They played on the 1974 Hopkins National Championship team, coached by Bob Scott. Centennial in red came out smoking. Number 15, Pat Davis.
Pat Davis for Centennial. He had 3 goals and 3 assists. Also, Mike Down, good job for Centennial with 3 goals in this game.
Big story of this game, combination of Evan Calvert and Sean Daugherty. Number 1, Calvert, who tried out for the U.S. Under-19 team, feeds Daugherty. Daugherty had 9 goals in last year's state championship game. It was 4-0 Centennial. Mount Hebron in white comes back. Nice feed to number 14, Chris Sullivan, but it would be Hebron's only goal of the game. Too much firepower from this combination again, Sam, after a sweet save right there by Mike Sepich, the goalie from Centennial. But in the end, it was too much. Evan Calvert and Sean Daugherty combining right here again.
Yeah, Daugherty on the day, 5 goals. Calvert, 3 goals and an assist for Centennial.
Boy, that express rolls on. Centennial wins 13-1 to kind of flex their muscle in Howard County.
That's right, proving they're the team to beat in Howard County. Centennial improves to 4-1. Mount Hebron drops to 1-4. Quick look at the boys across top 5. There could be a change at the top. Number 1, Gilman went 1-1, including a loss to number 5, St. Mary's. That was one of 2 wins for St. Mary's. Number 2, Boys Latin won its only game, but tough week for number 3, 7, which lost to Gilman and St. Paul's. Number 4, Loyola went 1-1, losing to Boys Latin. We're going to move on and take a quick look at the girls across top 5 this week. The only loss among the top 5 belonged to number 3, Notre Dame Prep, which lost to number 5, Roland Park. Number 1, Mount Hebron. Number 2, Hereford, and number 5, Roland Park. Each went 2-0. On to baseball. Friday, number 5, St. Paul's and number 6, Calvert Hall met in a rematch of last year's MIAA Conference Championship game at St. Paul's. The Crusaders, who won the title last year and started this season ranked number 1 in the area, came in 1-1 in the league, while the Cardinals came in at 2-0.
And this game documented by your good friend Pat O'Malley, proving he's at the game.
Was he trying to get some sun? What's he doing there?
Pat, one of my former coaches, and coached a lot of other guys around town. Paul Bernstorff of St. Paul's, defending 8 conference champs. Lou Ecker's Cardinals, always tough. Was again on Thursday. Calvert Hall in red, 3rd inning. Nathan Curd pitching to Pat Carberry, who rips one to left field, and that scores Matt Parks.
Matt Parks for Calvert Hall there. You had Pat Carberry had 2 hits, and Nick Diener had went 4 for 4 with a sac bunt for Calvert Hall.
5-2 Cardinals lead for Jeremy Jakubowski. And the St. Paul's 3rd, though, the lead all but gone. Steve Johnson singled. Chad Durakius with the home run.
Chad Durakius, good game for St. Paul's. He showed up with the bat big time. He had 3 of St. Paul's 11 hits.
It was 5-4 Calvert Hall. It was 6-4 in the 4th. Tim Herman singled in the run. And then Steve Johnson, Dave Johnson, his dad, played for the Orioles. Pat Carberry dives, can't get it. Tom Herman scores from first, ties the game at 6. Jeremy Jakubowski was replaced by Tim Sexton, who was rewarded with the win because in the 6th, number 11, Matt Parks finds the woods.
Matt Parks, good overall game. Double, a home run, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs for Calvert Hall.
Calvert Hall up 8-6. It was 9-6 in the 7th. The tying run at the plate for St. Paul's after that nice little home run celebration. Tim Sexton gets the final out. Brian Del Monte grounds to Ryan Frey, and that's the ball game. And Calvert Hall remains perfect, winning 9-6.
That's right. Calvert Hall perfect at 6-0. St. Paul's now 6-4. And we're going to move on and take a look at our boys baseball top 5. Strong week for number 1 Savannah Parkers. They won all 3 games. Number 3 Mount St. Joe won its only game, but the rest of the top 5 all suffered losses. Old Mill won 2 but lost to South River. Number 4 River Hill beat Wild Lake but lost to Appleton. And number 5 St. Paul's won a game but tied with Gibbons and lost to Calvert Hall. All right, softball Wednesday, unbeaten North County hosted number 4 Glen Burnie and a battle of Anne Arundel County softball powers. Number 2 North County had already knocked off number 1 Chesapeake earlier in the week, while Glen Burnie had already suffered a loss to number 11 Northeast.
Yeah, North County coached by Bobby Boyd, his defending state champs. In 1975 at Brooklyn Park, he put together one of the greatest single seasons ever for a high school pitcher, maybe the best ever. Bob Roccolino's Gophers, 3-time state champs. That was the storyline earlier this week, but it was too much Beth Mullins in this game. In the 4th, Beth steals second. She's just a sophomore, and that sets the table for Danielle Martinez, who produces here.
Good game to play for Danielle Martinez. She had a double, a single, and scored 2 runs for North County.
It was 4-0 Knights at this point. Next batter, Lisa Papson with a perfect bunt. Lisa, one of 4 freshmen on this team, 4 freshman starters, Papson, Tony Evans, Angela Oleski. They all played for Pat O'Malley's brother, Timmy O'Malley, for the Lady Orioles softball team. And they really played well in this game. But Beth Mullins, the big story, just a sophomore, and shows why she's one of the best pitchers around.
Yeah, Beth Mullins mowing them down. She had 13 strikeouts in this game. She actually took a no-hitter into the 6th inning.
And then in the 4th, Bobby Boyd's Knights add 3 more runs. And again, one of the freshmen, Tony Evans, delivers number 10 with a shot up the middle, and that scores a couple of runs there.
Good play for good day to play for Tony Evans. 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs.
It was 8-0 North County after 4 innings, and then in the 6th, Beth Mullins still working on a no-hitter, and Beth Slater of Glen Burnie breaks it up. Bloop single to right field, one of just 2 hits allowed by Mullins. But in the 7th, with 2 outs, Beth Mullins ends it with her trademark pitch, the changeup, her 13th and final strikeout, and Sam, North County remains perfect. 8-0 win, and they are again flexing their muscle in Anne Arundel County.
Yeah, as you said, North County remains perfect. They're now 5-0. Glen Burnie at 2-3. Quick look at the girls softball top 5. Big week for number 2 North County as they won all 4 games. Good week also for number 3 Falston, which won 3 games. Real tough week for number 4 Glen Burnie as they lost all 4 games. Top-ranked Chesapeake started the week with a loss but came back to win 3 games. Be sure to check out a copy of Tuesday's Sun to see all the polls. Okay, coming up later in the show, we're going to meet the Sun's Athletes of the Week.
And we'll talk with Anthony Knox, the new head football coach at Polytechnic. So stay with us. There's more to come on this week's Replay Sun High School Sports Show.
Brought to you by your Toyota dealer, where 17 different models mean more choice and better value. Get the feeling, Toyota.
Hello? Peter, you considered my offer? I'll give you power.
I've got power.
I'll give you riches. Riches.
I've got riches.
All right, I'll even...
Now you can buy luxury without selling your soul. The 2003 Camry, the most irresistible Camry we've ever built.
He's just terrific, and he's brought kind of a reptilian sense of balance to business that I think was missing from our warm-blooded employees before.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sometimes when we touch,
Why do people love Geico?
the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes.
Because 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
If you live in Harford County, you already know what a marvelous place it is to call home. Now you'll be able to enjoy your Harford County lifestyle even more, thanks to the new Harford section in the Baltimore Sun. That's where you'll find everything you love about Harford living. You'll find in-depth local news reporting. You'll find terrific photos and interesting feature stories. And you'll also find outstanding local high school sports coverage. So look for the new Harford section every week in the Sunday Sun. Available at a newsstand near you.
There's a hospital in Maryland where in 1920, doctors first showed the world surgery could be performed on the heart. A hospital whose pioneering excellence continues today, with doctors developing advanced videoscopic procedures to reduce pain and recovery time. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Welcome back to Replay Sun High School Sports. Every week the Sun picks its athletes of the week, and each week here on Replay we introduce them to you. Our first athlete of the week is a softball player from Anne Arundel County's Chesapeake High School. Last season, Lindsay Ettinger helped the Cougars sweep their Anne Arundel County competition when she went 16-2 with an 0.65 ERA. This year, the All-Metro right-hander did not allow an earned run in her first 2 outings, giving the #1 Cougars a boost on their way to a 3-0 start. Lindsay pitched 14 innings, allowing 6 hits and 1 walk while striking out 13 batters in a 1-0 wins over #4 Glen Burnie and #11 Northeast. Against Glen Burnie, the senior pitched out of a couple of jams, including striking out 3 straight batters in the 6th inning with a runner on second base. Our boy athlete of the week is baseball player Adam Graff of Mount Hebron. Tendinitis in his throwing shoulder has kept Graff from doing any catching this season, but it certainly hasn't affected his bat. The senior designated hitter, who is batting 3rd for Mount Hebron, had a huge week helping defending Howard County champions get off to a 3-0 start. In 3 games, Graff was 5 for 10 with 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, 4 runs, and a double. It all started last Tuesday with 2 homers and 7 RBIs to lead the Vikings to an 11-7 victory over Long Reach. Then, after hitting a double and driving in 3 runs in Mount Hebron's 11-1 romp past South River, Adams slammed a 2-run homer and a game-winning single as the Vikings beat Appleton 4-3 last Friday. Adam Graff could not be with us today, but we do have Lindsay Ettinger here with us. Lindsay, welcome to Replay.
Thank you.
Now, you're old hat at this. We had you as an athlete of the week last season, so this should go pretty smoothly. All right, let's start and talk about the wins over Glen Burnie and Northeast. You were saying those were 2 important wins for you as far as your Anne Arundel County competition. Explain to us why those wins are so big over those 2 teams.
Well, Glen Burnie and Northeast are very competitive teams and also our rivals, but we were able to come out with a strong defense and key hits to win the games.
Okay, great. Now, last season, you guys, Chesapeake, you went 16-2. You made it to the state quarterfinals. You got 8 players back from last year's team. You're off to a 6-1 start, a real strong start. Talk about this year's team and tell us about the strengths of this year's team.
This year we have stellar defense and our hitting is coming around and we have lots of speed on our base paths.
Okay. Now, you're a senior. You've got to start there. You're probably already thinking about colleges.
Yeah.
What kind of program do you want to go, play at the next level? Explain to us what you're looking for.
I'm looking for a Division II college, and I hope to plan to major in athletic training.
Okay. Now, you also play for the Maryland Outlaws this summer. You guys went 80-12. Excellent record. What I'm trying to figure out is how do you manage to get in 92 softball games in the summer? You kept pretty busy playing a lot of softball.
Yeah, we do. We play in the summer every weekend, and we play at least 8 games during that tournament. And we're just able to come out and have fun.
Okay.
We just get the job done.
The other players on the Maryland Outlaws, where do they come from?
They come from our softball team. We have Trace Allen, our shortstop, and our catcher, Jess Staten. They play on my team.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a couple of players from your Chesapeake team. Talk to us about who some of the other key players are that are playing for Chesapeake this season.
Tracy's having a pretty good season so far. She is hitting the ball very well, and she's doing great at shortstop, stopping those balls. So.
Now, in Anne Arundel County, who are the teams to beat this year? I know you've got the wins over Northeast and Glen Burnie. We saw some highlights earlier of North County. Is that the team to beat?
Yes, they are. Right now, they are the team to beat. They're the defending state champs, like you said, so we want to come out and try to get them next time this season. Hopefully we'll see them in the future as well.
Now, you were here, you saw the highlights of North County and their pitcher, and you came up a little later and you were kidding a little bit about their pitcher. You guys played them. That your one loss, unfortunately, was to North County also.
Yes, it was.
And you've got them again, right? What do you think you need to do to beat that North County team?
Probably to come out and get those key hits again. We didn't have them that game, and we have to step up our defense to stop them.
All right, great. Lindsay, congratulations again. Thank you for being here on Replay.
Thank you.
Okay, now coaches, if you want to nominate an athlete of the week, check out this Wednesday sports section of the Sun to find out how. But if you have a question or comment, please give us a call at 410-332-6363. Or you can email your comments to replay@sunspot.net. Stay tuned for more of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. But first, here's this week's Sunspot question. Which is the best girls lacrosse team in the area this season? Is it Mount Hebron, Hereford, Notre Dame Prep, Broad Neck, Roland Park, or choose your own team and write it in? You can place your vote at www.sunspot.net/sports/high school. We'll be right back.
If you're planning to purchase a new car, boat, RV, or if you want to make home improvements, Baltimore County Savings Bank can help you make it happen. With a variety of financing plans, we are sure you will find one suited to meet your needs. And as always, we fully explain the loan transaction, so you will know you made the right decision. You'll get more from your bank when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank, locally owned and operated and growing to meet your needs.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Visit sunspot.net and find out. Sunspot, the answers to life in Maryland.
People from all over America come to a hospital in Maryland to leave dialysis behind. A hospital where caring surgeons and nurses have led the world's most successful live donor kidney transplant program to a remarkable success rate. A hospital where videoscopic surgery allows loved ones and friends to donate easily and walk out in just a day or two. Who's leading the way to this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
This week's Extra Points honoree is Park School junior John Bookstein. John tossed a no-hitter on March 28th against Chapelgate. He struck out 7 and walked just 1 batter as Park beat Chapelgate 4-1. All right, earlier this week, John Hammond stepped down as football coach at Poly High, and the engineers didn't waste any time finding a replacement, naming Randallstown coach Anthony Knox as the coach of one of the area's premier programs. Anthony is here today with us, and as our special guest interview. Anthony, welcome to Replay.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your job.
Wearing that Poly hat as we speak right now already.
Anthony, just real quick, just taking over the Poly program, what's it been like so far? You were saying it's been kind of a crazy week for you.
Yes, it's been very hectic. All of a sudden now I have instant popularity. people calling, and it's been very positive. A lot of congratulations. People want to come in and talk to me about the program and hopefully steer it in the right direction.
Right. Now I mentioned it's one of the premier programs. Some people might say it's the premier program in the city. Obviously, over the last couple of years, some folks might feel like they didn't accomplish as much as they would have liked at at Poly. But when you look at what they've accomplished over the years, you got the big Poly City game as a marquee event, and the alumni at Poly has one of the strongest alumni associations, and I know they take a great interest in what happens with that program. I'm just wondering, are you ready to take on that experience?
Oh yes, I think I'm really ready for it. I know that it's a lot expected of me. It's a lot expected of the team, and I know we're going to come in and we're going to compete, and that's all we can ask for the kids to do is to go in there, be fundamentally sound, go out there and play the best of their ability, and it's my job to get them there. Right. So I'm really looking forward to the challenge, doing some things we did at Randallstown, being very successful. Hopefully, get back to the state finals, get to the state playoffs, and get them wins.
Yeah, you played for a guy who was just like that, Pete Pompey at Edmonton years ago. What did he mean for you, and what do coaches today, you included, mean to the kids you coach? Obviously, it's a big responsibility.
Yes, I mean, it wasn't like when I was coming up where you had a lot of the mother and the father in the home. Right. Now you have a lot of the kids who are coming up now with the single parent homes, and they look to the coaches to be very positive in their lives. And I think that a positive coach will be a good influence to the kids because now they steer them in that right direction. They give them that discipline that they need, that focus, and that getting on that straight path to hopefully go to college and make themselves productive citizens.
And they respond, obviously, too.
Yes.
They need that, don't they?
Yes, I think we get away from that. I think we get away from the fact that we give the kids a lot of leeway.
Yeah,
and
good point.
I think what we try to do, we got to give them that discipline. Kids are looking for that discipline in that straight and narrow. They want someone to steer them, and I think we get away from that and let them make a lot of decisions that I think sometimes they should not make. And I think that by parents we need to step in and make some of those decisions for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, at Randallstown, you were 33-11 over 5 seasons there. Your teams made it to the state playoffs all 5 of those seasons, and you won 3 4A, 3A county titles. So you had some success at Randallstown, and like I was saying earlier, you know, the alumni. There's going to be obviously some pressure.
That's what you told Mark Splenoff too, right? We were just saying.
How much time do you think they're going to give you to really get in there and get that program rolling?
A couple weeks, couple days. No, I think if they see improvement, I think the kids are excited just like I am because of the fact of of the reputation that we have accumulated over the last 5 years at Randallstown. I know they know that they're having a good person that's coming in, but I have to let them know that I'm hard on myself and I'm hard on them too. And I think that if the alumni sees that, then they'll be very comfortable with what goes on at Poly.
A lot of people talked about the City Poly game. It's lost its luster because it's not played on Thanksgiving. And there's been some talk about city and private schools getting back together. I know Ben Eaton and Biff Poggi have both tried to do. Would you like to see that?
Well, you know, right now, I just want to get in there and just do what I need to do to help Poly become successful. Those type of things are out of my hands, basically. Right. You know, I let the powers that be deal with those types of situations. My job is just to coach the football team and make sure that they become very successful. You know, so and another thing too, getting the kids in college. I mean,
here.
We want to get the kids in college. We want to give them that good college experience. So again, they graduate, and even something happens to them in football, injuries, those type of things.
Which happened to you?
Yes, it was happening to me, right? Which put me back on going back to school and making sure I get my degree and you know, and I say this to everyone, you know, looking at me and coming out in the city and coming from Emerson and coming from Emerson Village and just being a head coach at Poly is just an accomplishment because of the fact that, you know, we're not supposed to get to this particular point.
And as we get ready to go to break, obviously, Augie Weibel, Bruce Strunk, who you coach with him. So there's a legacy at Poly led by Coach Weibel, Bucky Kimmett, that it's pretty big shoes to fill.
Yeah, well, again, you know, no one puts more pressure on me than me. You know, and again, you know, I'm in there to do the best that I can and go from there.
Well, we appreciate your help and everything you've done for us over the years. Best of luck down on Cold Spring and Falls. Anthony Knox, new coach at Poly. Sam and I will be right back after this.
Build it to withstand earthquakes, the elements, anything you can imagine.
At Toyota, we build to withstand the things you can't imagine.
The Tundra was given the highest overall safety rating for full-size pickups by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The Toyota Tundra, better from the ground up.
Managing your money just became a lot easier with online banking from Baltimore County Savings Bank. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more, all from the convenience of your home. 24 hours a day. Just open up one of our free, no-hassle checking accounts. Sign up for internet service, and paying bills becomes as simple as a click of the mouse. No checks to write, no envelopes, no stamps to buy. You'll find all this and more when you come home to Baltimore County Savings Bank.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's a hospital in Maryland where babies no bigger than the palm of your hand are being given new hope. A hospital where a dedicated team of doctors and nurses have increased to over 90% the survival rate of infants born as small as 1 3/4 pounds. A hospital where parents can take comfort in knowing that the whole world can revolve around the tiniest of patients. Who's delivering this new medical tomorrow? University of Maryland Medicine.
That's it for this week's edition of Replay Sun High School Sports. For Keith Mills, I'm Sam Davis. Thanks for watching and have a great week of sports.
For nearly a century, Balfour has celebrated success, offering the highest quality and finest selection of high school class rings. Balfour celebrates achievement in all its forms, academic or athletic, team or individual, national or local. Capture your memories for a lifetime with a class or championship ring from Balfour. For more information, contact your local Balfour office at 410-321-4433 or log on to www.balfour.com. Memories ring true with Balfour.
Get both 0% APR and cash back.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of the Replay Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Sam Davis, sports editor for the Sun. With me as always, sports anchor here at WMAR ABC2, Keith Mills. Keith, welcome to another exciting week of replay. We are into May now,
Yes.
which means we are getting towards the end of the season. Playoffs are about to happen. Teams are jockeying for position, trying to get spots in the playoffs. Another week of exciting highlights.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of those teams, Sam, coming up in just a few minutes. We'll also meet Alex Vitale of Severna Park and Lindsey Grigoriev, this week's Replay Athletes of the Week. And again, show you some of this week's biggest games, including a softball showdown between North County and Chesapeake. CM Wright's girls lacrosse team keeps rolling, and we'll talk in studio with Brooke Cool-McClellan, coach of the dynamic Mount Hebron girls lacrosse team, who remain unbeaten again this week.
We've got an exciting show coming in. We're going to begin today's Toyota highlights by heading south to Annapolis, where the 11th ranked Panthers played number 15 Broadneck, two of the area's top public schools in lacrosse.
Yeah, this game was played at Al Larimore Field, Annapolis High School, before a good crowd on a perfect night. First quarter, Broadneck in the red, down 2-0. Number 11, Branch Sherman, to number 26, Josh Beck.
Yeah, these guys did a great job for Broadneck there. Branch Sherman had 4 assists, and Josh Beck had 3 goals.
2-1 Annapolis, though, at this point. Annapolis back the other way. Number 9, Alex Hopman, to number 2, Brian Vetter.
Brian Vetter going to score here for one of his 2 goals on the night.
And it's after the ball bounces around, it's a good defensive stand. Finally, Hopman's going to get it, and he'll feed Brian Vetter. Vetter in front with that goal, and it was 5-3 Annapolis late in the first half. May have been worse. Alex Hopman shot, though. Jake Belay, the big save for Broadneck.
Yeah, good job by Jake Belay. He had 17 saves. And Zach Kristoff for Annapolis, also excellent job in goal with 11 saves.
Yeah, both goaltenders playing well, as you see the clear right there. That save leads to this goal. Jordan Socal to Sean Somerville.
Sean Somerville on that goal. That was one of 2 on the night for Broadneck.
Game tied 5-3. Game tied 5-5 at the half. That's Clay White, the fine coach at Broadneck. It was 6-6. Broadneck scores 3 goals in just over a minute. Branch Sherman to Sean Somerville. It's 7-6 Broadneck. 18 seconds later, number 22, Bo Nickerson, unassisted and unguarded. It's 8-6 Broadneck. And then 1 minute later, number 17, Kyle Bloomfield, unassisted.
Yeah, we mentioned Somerville earlier with 2 goals. Kyle Bloomfield also had 2 goals, and you saw Nickerson on a goal. He also added an assist to help Broadneck out.
It was 9-6 Broadneck after that 3-goal barrage. Annapolis makes another run off the long pole. Defenseman Patrick Cook-Deegan, one of his 2 goals, but it wasn't enough. Clay White's Bruins win 12-8, and Broadneck continues to play well.
Yeah, and Broadneck improves to 8-3. Annapolis drops to 7-2. And we're going to take a quick look at our boys lacrosse top 5. You're going to see number 4, Gilman, and number 5, St. Mary's were the only teams among the top 5 to suffer losses. Number 4, Gilman lost to St. Mary's 6-4, and number 5, St. Mary's lost to top-ranked Calvert Hall. The top-ranked Cards also knocked off McDonough for a 2-0 week. Number 3, Boys Latin notch wins over Severn and McDonough for a 2-0 week, and number 2, Loyola had a 1-0 week beating Severn. All right, moving on to the girls lacrosse highlights. In Harford County, the girls lacrosse team at CM Wright has been all but unbeatable the last 5 years. Heading into this week, the Mustangs had won 45 straight games in the county, and Wednesday night they took aim at Bel Air, a team looking to pull off an upset.
It almost happened. Game played at Al Sesky Stadium in Bel Air, where this mom looking for a better view. In blue, the CM Wright Mustangs, 5 straight Harford County championships. In white, Bel Air. The Bobcats' big first half
half from goalie number 18, Katie Smith.
Yeah, Katie Smith, 11 saves on the day, 9 of them. You saw one of them there, 9 of them in the first half.
Yeah, that was off a shot from Christina Frank. It was 5-4 CM Wright at the half. They add to the lead. Number 20, Katie Stamper, looking to pass, decides to shoot.
Yeah, Katie Stamper, she did pass a little later on, had 2 assists, but she also had 3 goals. She was one of 6 Mustangs to score in this game.
Then CM Wright's defense takes over. Kelly Fahey's shot. Number 1, Amanda Barnes the save. Barnes had 6 saves for the Mustangs. After they clear later on, it was 8-4. Bel Air comes back. Kelly Fahey to Gina Gesner.
Nice bounce shot there. Kelly Fahey and Colby Bunker for Bel Air each had 2 goals, and Fahey also had an assist.
Mustangs closed it out with authority. A tremendous clear. Another save right there, but finally, Sarah Gallion to number 5, Kara Dorr to number 13, Christina Frank. This is picture-perfect execution.
Yeah, that was excellent play there. Christina Frank and Kara Dorr teaming up there. Each of them had 1 goal and 1 assist in this game for CM Wright.
It was 9-5 CM Wright late. 1 minute later, Gina Moranto to number 18, Kelly McHugh. McHugh had 2 goals. 2 goals and 1 assist for Moranto. 10-5, Coach Carl Greenberg's CM Wright Mustangs win and hand the Bobcats their first loss.
Bel Air suffers its first loss. They're 8-1. CM Wright now 8-3.
Okay, what a game earlier this week. St. Mary's of Annapolis, 16-3 record coming in against unbeaten Mount Hebron. St. Mary's in the blue out early. Number 9, Kelly Gonzalez to Julie Gladchuck.
Yeah, Julie Gladchuck and Kelly Gonzalez hooking up there. They also, Gladchuck had 2 goals. Kelly Gonzalez 1 goal and 1 assist to help St. Mary's in this game.
Hebron ties it. St. Mary's again. Mary